Apparently, I have a lot.
God.
Jag orkar inte.
Vad ska du ha?
Nej, skit i det. Ta det sen.
All right.
And we're back!
Oh my God.
I tried. That was all of it. That was all the energy in one.
Yeah. And we're done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome back to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Ilias.
And me, Robert.
Yeah, and this week we're going to be talking about sketchbooks.
Sketchbooks.
In the name of the podcast.
Why we haven't done this earlier, we don't know. But we have.
Yeah, we have. We've talked about it. But we're going to revisit the topic because it's something that a lot of us use, and
was requested
on the Discord,
which also helps.
It helps a lot. Thank you, because both of us are not doing well today.
Stupid-tarded.
So having someone else tell you what to do also helps a lot.
Yes.
Like on days like this.
So this is not on us. This is on you.
This is all your fault.
If this turns out to be the worst episode ever created, yeah.
I did get 4 bullseyes, though. I don't know how bad this could possibly get.
You deserve your fucking headache.
But I think it was Sinica on Discord and Clement that wanted
a little bit of a sketchbook talk.
Deep dive.
Yes.
On how to sort of, fill sketchbook strategies is what they requested. We're going to talk a bit more about other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Regarding sketchbooks. And yeah.
We'll also just talk a little bit about the latest Matrix trailer.
Oh yeah, we need to do that on the retro.
On the retro.
Also the Marvel What If.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And for tools today, I'm going to briefly go through my strategy of the Inktober process.
Mm-hmm.
So I made myself a little bit of a map. I also gave it to everybody on the Discord. So this episode will maybe help guide you through that map, because obviously you don't know how I think. So I'm going to try to help you out a bit. And maybe that will help anybody that's struggling with what they're going to do for Inktober.
Yeah, and I'll share some of sort of my early discoveries with this year's prep for Inktober. And yeah, that's it. And also spoil Shang-Chi at the very, very end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shang-Chi.
I forgot you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Last week. Yeah. Exactly.
It's been a week.
So hopefully more of you out there have seen it by now.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
I did tell you guys to see it.
It's been doing really good.
Yeah.
It's like crazy good.
Yes.
So that's super happy for it.
Awesome. All right. How you been?
It's good. It's good. Meniscus thing still hurts. Waiting for my doctor's appointment to do an MRI and check what actually is broken in my leg.
What if?
Exactly. So
meniscus. What if?
So we'll see what they say. The pain is almost constant.
Fantastic.
Which is great. Everybody loves to be in pain.
Yeah, but at least you don't feel good anytime.
Exactly.
So that's just a new normal.
And it's affecting my sleep.
Yeah.
And that's causing some anxiety with everything.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So it's been a good week.
Good week indeed. I don't know. I'm still like, I feel kind of cheerful, although like there's enough things that are going well that it kind of, the balance is even.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I think I understand.
So it is fine, because people are like, oh, not the meniscus, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't really care. Like, it's broken now. So just, like accept, find out what I need to do, and then just do that and move on.
Yeah. At least you know what it is.
Exactly.
And you kind of already suspected it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only thing it could have been.
Yeah.
And it was that said thing. So I've already accepted this a while back. So I just want to find out how bad it is. And like, do I need to do like a
proper surgery?
Yeah. Do I need to do like a smaller surgery, or can I or will it heal by itself over time? We'll see.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Exciting. Also a little bit scary.
But dude, what about you? What's up?
Absolutely nothing.
Cool.
It's
I actually
been one
watched
of
Rush
those.
Hour now that you said that.
Oh, you
know,
really?
With my kids. My son was super disappointed. He was like, they talk all the time. I'm like, yes, they talk funny, but
Yeah,
you don't understand.
exactly. Learn English.
This is my
Brat.
second time trying to.
Jesus. Tell him that I knew English when I was 4, right? You probably did too, I guess. Yeah. So
I didn't care.
just smack him and learn.
My daughter is doing it the right way. She's like, get out of here, man, blah, blah, blah. She just like adapts.
gets it?
No, she just hears stuff. Yeah, she gets it as well because she's 11, but she mimics like we did.
Oh,
She
okay.
mimics, and that makes it sort of
Nice.
sink in better. She's like, get out of my room because I said blah, blah, blah. It's just like she does the things that she's seen on TikTok and stuff, you know, so she's picking up English a lot, whereas he's more conservative in that sense and voted for. No, just kidding.
He's boring, is what
He's
you're saying.
boring, is
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. I knew it.
But his kicks are awesome.
Nice. At least he's got that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that
So
going for him.
it weighs up the boring stuff.
Yeah. No, we did. The only thing that I've done this week is because of COVID, it has finally sort of stopped being a big thing in Stockholm. Events are slowly but surely popping up, and finally my friends could have a proper release party for their new shop. So Red Tiger is the name of the shop. I know, the coolest name ever for a tattoo shop.
Red Tiger.
And it's it's only run by women, and it's
It's that one.
yeah. So they had a shop before that I did a little guest spot in called Queendom, and then stuff happened, and then they branched out and made their own thing.
Awesome.
And it's going really well. The shop was amazing, and great turnout.
Where is it?
It's like at as far out south you can get on Södermalm.
Oh, okay.
So it's more down towards the water-ish. Like it felt like it was really difficult to get to, but it wasn't that far away. So
okay. It's one of those locations.
Yeah. But Red Tiger Tattoo on Instagram. Check them out.
Very cool.
Give them a follow. They are very awesome people and great artists. Can't talk. So that we did that this Saturday, and was like semi hungover yesterday, and
It feels like it's really Groundhog Day.
yeah, like it's just
hungover. But
actually yes, it really is. Like it's so sad, but just like I haven't seen anything new. I haven't done like anything fun. It's all work. And like you, I'm having like body trouble. So my shoulder blade is really fucked, and to the point where I actually have to put pills in my mouth to sort of stop that pain.
But let's
from
try
happening.
after the podcast to unfuck it with the towel idea. Maybe you can do that with your shirt, and I can sort of show you how to do it.
Yeah.
We can. We'll unfuck later.
Well, it's weird because obviously now I'm on the pain meds, so it's feeling better. But yeah. Well, yeah, I would appreciate at least just show me sort of how to do it.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Such a huge thank you for like buying all the merch.
I saw the huge cups as well. Like I had
Dude, I
missed
didn't
those.
even know that was big. But I'm thinking of like going in and modifying the mug. So either I'm gonna like do the logo, since you could download the templates as you told me, and I'm gonna download the templates, and then I'm gonna like have the logo on the one side, and then maybe we should write something on the other side, or just
go
have
fuck
double
yourself.
logos.
Yeah.
From us to you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Or we should just have one of those, something we've said. So if you have ideas for what we could add to the merch, like this cup would be better with, add that in one of the forums, like the episode thing, because it's part of the episode. So if you have ideas for what we could write on the merch with the logo or something, just tell us. We'll make it happen.
Preferably something stupid that we said that we've forgotten.
Yes, please. Like straight circle is something that I'm considering. I just
the
don't
first
know.
time you say it right.
Yes, I know. Every time I don't talk about it on air, I know it until I have to say it on the show, and then it's just like Full circle.
Full circle. Full circle.
Like, God damn it. Because that's how you say it.
Yeah, I know.
But it's so hard to say it wrong once you sort of know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for me because I correct you. It makes me sound super smart. If I was
so you're the smart one. You're like, you say it wrong. So you're the smart one. No, it's straight circle.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, 100% not sure. Yeah. And again, thank you guys for buying all the merch. Thank you, Underverket, for letting us be here babbling.
Always.
Thank you, Max, for presenting his beautiful beard and talking funny forest stories.
A grown man in his 30s that saw mushrooms for the first time. Like those, Super Mario mushrooms in the forest, whatever the fuck they're called in English.
I should know this, but
I should know this as well, but my brain does not want to go there.
Exactly.
That's what I got in my head when I said mushrooms. I have no idea why.
That was A-Team.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I was like, mushrooms, and everybody's like,
oh my God, intro, go. Intro.
Thank you for listening. Woo! Diving in.
Oh my God.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons, even with beards and tattoos. They haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any line.
Hammer time.
161.
Yes, we're back.
We're back.
If that wasn't clear.
Yeah.
So, sketchbooks, everyone. Sketchbooks.
Sketchbook.
The name of the game. The name of the podcast. The name of your mom's ex-boyfriend. I have no idea.
If we had video, you would see my eye twitching. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know. Things were said. Shots fired, bitches.
What happened to let's keep it like low key and like.
There is no low key, Robert. There is no low key except because because that show has run its course.
Oh my God. Now it's on a fucking repeat loop in my head.
Dude, I feel you.
Oh man.
But so Clement and Sinica on the Discord asked for this episode, and we don't know what to talk. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, of course we deliver. If you ask, then we will try to deliver.
So the question was like strategies for filling up sketchbooks.
And this is something that I suck at. So I will just take the back seat on this one, like every episode we've ever done. Could you move up your seat?
But there are different ways of doing it, but I think we need to kind of like attack it from a different angle. Because I mean,
that is something that we have talked about a whole bunch of times.
We have, and we'll get back to that.
Different types of usage.
So we'll just do like this annoying cliffhanger where we just like drag it on, until we get to the point.
Yeah, exactly. And then there is no point.
but something that I see a lot, like the discussion that you were having on the Discord was a lot like, oh, well, how do people have like several sketchbooks and how do you sort of prioritize which one you work in? And already there, I think you're missing the point of a sketchbook.
Yeah. Like,
why do you have like 1 million sketchbooks?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why do you like? Basically, what a sketchbook is, like, it might be different for everyone, but it's basically just a place to practice stuff, like flesh out ideas and like try things out, like experiment, basically.
Yeah.
Without the pressure of, drawing an illustration like perfectly.
Exactly. And just to do mindless doodles and preoccupy time, whatever. Like, it shouldn't be something that you cherish to the point that you're not like going to draw anything in it because you're too afraid to ruin it.
Yeah.
Which is what we always do. The first sketch in the sketchbook is always really awesome.
Yeah. Because
it kind of feels that way. And then as soon as you're supposed to, like, you turn the page and you're about to tackle the next one,
You have to live up to the first one,
Exactly.
basically, or better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And total art block, and then you have another sketchbook. Like that's why I have multiple sketchbooks.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's just like you reach the point of like, fuck, this sucks. Yeah. I'll just start a new one.
And also, like we all have this desire, the want, for a new sketchbook, and especially if they're awesome looking,
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my god, a new sketchbook, and it's so pretty, and blah blah blah. And then you open the first page, and you can't draw on it,
Yeah. Yeah, it's that blank canvas sickness.
And what I think about that is, like, if that's what you feel about a sketchbook, like if you buy the really nice ones that you paid, a little extra for, and your first thought is, I don't want to ruin it, you bought the wrong sketchbook.
Exactly. Exactly.
You bought the wrong fucking sketchbook.
Yeah.
Because I think we all want to treat our sketchbooks, because we see, some artists out there, like we threw out a couple of names before the podcast, like Kim Young-gi, Karl Kopinski,
And Artem.
Yeah, Artem, exactly. And then you have, what's her name? I can't think of her name. She has a really big YouTube as well, but she's also, she's also like, she just does a lot of stuff in her sketchbook, and she has,
Is it the person?
Audra Claire.
Yeah.
Or something. Claire.
Claire.
Audra Claire.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so, or something like that. And she has these awesome, like, fabulous sketches, But she's at the level where everything she puts out to everyone else is magical, but to her, it's her sketches. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, she's at that level. Karl Kopinski, whatever he fucking does, is, like, it doesn't matter if it's like, oh, I doodled this. Because when Karl Kopinski doodles, he's printing.
Yeah.
When Artem is, like, throwing out sketches, he's printing. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ingrained, the style that they have, the way that they draw, the understanding that they have about the mediums that they use.
Yeah. And I think
level.
with cases like them, it's almost like it works the opposite way of encouragement, It's like you can get... They fuck with your brain so much because they're so fast and they just keep pushing stuff out.
Of course.
And then you sit down and you feel inspired because you've seen what they do. And then as soon as you start, you're like, well, it's not the same. This is not what they did. This sucks. And then you sit there like for hours doodling this mindless thing, and it's all shit.
And then at the end result isn't that great either.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think your sketchbook shouldn't be a lot of great stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
that goes against what a sketchbook is in a way. Of course, it should be great. I mean, and by default,
there should be great ideas
is.
in it. There should be some great ideas. It should be like this diary, basically.
Exactly.
Of, you wouldn't give your diary and let people read your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happened. This is who I love. This is, whatever. Like, to really just have a clear example. Your sketchbook should be that. Like, you have some great ideas that you right now, maybe you don't know how to put them down, but you put some of it down so you don't forget them and can revisit them at a later point when maybe you're ready for them.
And I actually do use my sketchbook as a diary as well. If I do have a special event or something that day and I want to just write down whatever my brain is going through, I do that. So like I'm sitting there flipping through an old sketchbook, then all of a sudden it's
love that. Yeah,
traveling to Australia. I found that today.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like this is like everything that like... Well, you remember the build up to that trip, and now I have that
all there,
in one page in the sketchbook. Like it's just cool.
It is awesome, dude. It's so awesome
and timeless. Like So it is for me. I think it is more of a diary or a journal than anything else. It's only that I suck at actual writing, so in picture form it's better. But sometimes, like I don't know if you get this, but if you look back at some of the sketches, you will remember memories from that period of time
where I was when I did them.
Yeah,
I have a couple of those. Like before I started drawing entirely in ink in the sketchbooks when I was mixing a lot. Like those sketchbooks, I had them. It took me so long to actually, like I think I had one from 2014 to 16 or something like that. That's a long time to have a sketchbook, like 2 years.
Yeah,
or it's even 3 years actually. And the amount of things that I did, like I have, when I started, when I went to Portugal, stuff like that. There are There's like guest drawings on 2 pages.
That's awesome.
It's stuff like that is, you know, like, oh, I drew that in Portugal. Oh, I drew that on the plane to New York. Oh, I drew that somewhere else. You know, like, it's stuff like that is, like, it's so awesome when you have it. And if you're not afraid to fill your sketchbook, you know, with, like, flight dates and shit like that, it just becomes better. It won't, like, maybe you don't feel it right then, but going back and discovering these little nuggets of just memorability, like, memory triggers, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. No, I love it. I really love it. And that's why you shouldn't throw away your sketchbooks either.
Ever.
Like,
That's why I don't have the heart to cut in my sketchbooks.
Yeah.
Like, I look through them and I'm like, ugh, you know.
I am actually sad that I did that. Like, because
I probably would be too.
Why did I do it? Like, I think
Cool book.
Yeah, like I needed to sell a few, but I only sold maybe 1 or 2 of all the sketches that I cut out, and now they're just loose pages in plastic folders. Like, it's
not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
No.
I love how beat up my sketchbooks are. Also, like, the stickers have faded. I put other stickers on top of the stickers. I know who gave me the stickers. You know where they're from.
Fuck! I forgot to bring you stickers. That
God
happened
damn
last
it,
week.
you son of a bitch!
Yeah.
No,
God damn it.
But we can talk about that on Tools as well.
Yeah.
Sticker app.
Well, I mean, it's not much to say.
No, but I like sticker app. It's a bit on the expensive side compared to others, but they are awesome stickers.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot with them. So. Yeah. But also, I don't know, like, I think what I've noticed with myself, I have one of those, like, flimsy, like, moleskins for work, you know, the thin papered sketchbooks. And I'm not a big fan, I thought. But those sketchbooks, I'm so fucking loose in them that I would say they are the better sketchbooks. Because they're not overly fancy. I think I have 2 of them, and they're... Oh, you have field notes.
No, but just like...
Isn't that one of those, like field note sketchbooks?
It's just blank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think Field Notes, a brand, I think it's a brand,
and
has
of course,
those small one. Yeah,
gotta have
nice.
the
Very nice.
the things.
No, but I think that sketchbook is perfect. It's also like, there's not a lot of pressure in that one.
No, it's super flimsy. It's like very...
I think it's...
So it's... What size is this? A6?
What does it say on the cover?
It just says blank canvas.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Well, that's my brain.
Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't say anything actually inside.
Okay, well, that's perfect.
So, yeah.
But I think those flimsier paper, like sketchbooks, they just take away so much of the pressure. And if the idea is to just have a sketchbook where you can work out ideas and notes, you know.
And this one, just so people know what the fuck I was doing, but this is what I have in my jacket always.
Yeah.
Like, so I have a pen and I have that flimsy blank canvas little A6 notebook.
Yeah.
That's always with me, and then I have a bigger one in my backpack,
yeah.
which is also one of those flimsy ones.
I think, yeah, I've noticed that I'm better with those.
Yeah. Because immediately it takes that pressure off.
All the pressure.
If you buy a Leuchtturm, if we're going to go into like brands.
Favorite sketchbooks.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. That immediately comes with the pressure.
Yeah.
Because the paper is awesome and it's fantastic and you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to fuck it up. Like
No, I get it. I have
destroyed mine.
I've destroyed 1 or 2 as well. One for Inktober. But I have this like big moleskin that I got for my birthday. I've done 2 pages.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't finish.
Yeah,
Finish the second drawing, and I ruined it a little, and then I just got scared. You know what I mean? Like I just like, and I don't want to ruin the rest of it.
Yeah, it puts you off doing the next one.
Yeah, and I think the sketchbook cost like $34 or something like that.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's a
super
lot of
expensive.
money for a fucking sketchbook.
Yeah, and so why? Why are we putting so much money in these sketchbooks? You know what I mean? Like, why buy these fancy
And why do we
paper
continuously go back and buy more of them?
more of them? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so,
that's something, because every time I go into, let's say, Akademibokhandeln, which is just this normal bookstore that has sort of pen and paper stuff also, I can't help but go past the notebook page section of the store and just start scoping out new, like, ooh, this looks nice.
Yeah, this bit, ooh,
yeah.
and this cover isn't. Yeah, and you know you're not going to use it in the way that you should.
And then you end up like paying $60 for a couple of new pencils and a new sketchbook that you know you're never going to use.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's typical me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how many I actually do have because I've hidden them away because they just give me anxiety. So I keep the ones that like, this one I'll keep working in, this one I'll keep working in, and then these two that I carry with me always. Like,
Dude.
that's how I roll.
When I started working at King, I remember they gave us like, oh, well, this is a sketchbook, you know, nothing expensive
I got
or
that
anything.
one too. That's one
No,
of the
but
ones
not
that I
those
use.
ones, not the ones I made.
The
I haven't
ones
drawn
that,
in those.
because I
The
love
white
that one.
Yeah, I haven't used that one yet. I've done like a little test, but these were just, you know, some random, you know, brand sketchbook, like white pages, not super thin, like
80?
No, like 130 maybe, like 120, I don't know. Like a bit thicker, but not, you know, too fancy. And they were like spiraled, you know, like the, whatever the fuck they're called. But it was one of those. And dude, I just fucking like, in a month, all the pages, full, back to front.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
how the
because I
fuck-
didn't care. Work stuff, doodles, meetings, you know, I had a lot of meetings, like 6-hour meetings.
That
and
always
shit.
helps.
But I just filled it.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh my god, you've drawn so much!" And you know, like, this is one of my favorite like sketchbook tips. If you're gonna sort of, you know, we'll save that for the sketchbook tips. And but it's just like I just filled it all because there was no pressure in it. Like it was a semi-cheap sketchbook that I didn't pay for at least, and I just didn't have the pressure. And then I had, you know, my own sketchbook in my bag that I had drawn like 3 pages in like months because I don't know why. We all know this. Like we all know that sketchbooks are supposed to be like a place where you can explore without being judged, basically.
Yeah.
And we just judge ourselves harder than anyone else.
Because maybe sometime in the future, somebody else is going to flip through it and you don't want to disappoint them. Like that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
Well, with us it's different because we do show each other like all our stupid doodles most of the time.
Of course.
So there's no pressure, but there's also a little bit of that pressure.
There's a little bit of the pressure.
Like you want to
impress.
Of course.
I don't know.
Of course. You want to get good feedback and feel good about yourself. So of course you want to do a cool like full like
but
the first 10 pages of the
Yeah.
sketchbook should be really
But
awesome.
I always assume like whatever I see in your picture, I'm just like, he knows this, but so sometimes I don't put too much emphasis, like, you know, on some of the stuff. I'm like, I think that is a work in progress. I've seen this before, for example, like, oh yeah, he'll go over it with white later and it won't look like that, you know, and stuff like that. So I think we've seen each other's art enough to kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen his work. Like I know what the finish will be. Like with the Tango and Cash, I was like, yeah, it's like it looked really good. Then it got into like a rough stage, you know, as it does, like when
the
you're
in between.
Yeah, exactly. And then suddenly you're like, how is this like? How did he get those like rough edges, like
polished?
Yeah, because it just. But
that's how it works.
But that's how it is. Yeah. So sometimes I just don't want to. Because sometimes people give feedback on that stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, that looks a bit sketchy. Like, yes, you know, because it's a
sketchbook.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's I like it when you can give feedback and you know the artist a little. So, you know, like, oh, I don't have to waste time with that. Like, they got that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you flag, like, I fucked up the legs, you know, or something like that. But
yeah, or if you're, I mean, you can always ask in a sort of polite way.
Yeah,
like, is this how are you gonna?
What are you thinking when regarding to this?
Are you gonna keep rendering this, or like what's the like? And it also invites for conversation, and you like
exactly
maybe you even learn stuff. Like it's all good things.
But I think the same way that you looked at my Inktober sketch, the one with the boat now, and you were like, oh, it would be cool, like if the light was hitting the details and stuff. But then you also kind of countered with the what I was like fearing as well, like how much should you add to that?
Exactly,
you know, like,
because that was the immediate thought after I said that, and I'm like, oh yeah, but
it was a valid thought,
like,
and
we're not focusing in on that.
Yeah,
you know?
but it is the first read though, like so I totally got it, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want a bit of that, but how much can I add without it being the focus?
I think just like tops, just like a line to show where the railing is, kind of, and that's it.
Anything that isn't immediately behind the moon, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it's just silhouette. But yeah, but I'll try to squeeze some top surface like lights on it. Like just to.
I'm not worried. I've seen your stuff. I know what you can do.
But again, like if we take it back to sketchbooks, I think it's so much better to just buy cheap sketchbooks. Like, I think that's what I've learned. I have a lot of those fancy fucking, Mocha from Hanmühl, or whatever the fuck the German brand is, and just the Leuchtturm, the Moleskins, the
Purpose.
other... Purpose isn't fancy for me. Like, I don't give a shit. So I would say just get a cheap one. The sketchbook that you can open and feel like I could just fuck this up. That's the sketchbook. Like, that is the sketchbook you should be getting. Yeah. Like, the other one looks nice, but, take the cheap one. Yeah. Maybe even get a cheap one that you can buy, like, a case for. One of those, like...
To make it fancy.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, make it fancy on the outside, where you can customize it with stickers and shit, and fuck the inside. Like, don't care about that shit. Like, just buy something that you feel like I could waste this and feel good about it. Like, I could just doodle, like, first page.
You heard it here first. Yeah. Sketchbook Heroes, fuck the inside.
Fuck the inside. Fuck it all up.
Yeah. That's on the mug.
Fuck it all up. Let's fuck some shit up. But in regards of having multiple sketchbook, which was one of the questions, I think that's cool if it has a purpose.
Should we go into the different purposes of our sketchbooks, maybe?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've talked kind of about most of the other stuff before. I don't know what we've said.
Yeah, sure.
I don't remember anything.
What do you want to sort of like, how do you mean?
So no, but you mentioned that you had the one from work that was they gave it to you, so you didn't buy it.
It's still a King sketchbook. It's one of those. Yeah. So I didn't care. Like,
so with that, I mean, obviously that goes with the work.
Yeah.
And that made me think of the one that I had in Australia, where pretty much every client that I had, I needed to have a consultation with. And I didn't have my iPad in the beginning when I started tattooing in Australia. I got that after like a month or two. So I bought a sketchbook as a notebook, more or less, that I could just sit and jot down all the ideas that they had, do a quick little sketch. So like, it was on this arm, that placement, and that was awesome to have. Unfortunately, I threw that away when I left Australia because it would have been cool to see now.
Yeah, I think so. I think like you can throw something in the moment, but then you'll regret it because it has a lot of memories
and I totally destroyed it too, like with so many ugly sketches and stuff. So like, again, it wasn't precious to me in that way, but I should have just had that,
in the future.
Just keep it. It would have been fun to go back and see. So that's definitely something that I recommend if you are working with some sort of artsy-fartsy type of job, specifically tattooing. I think it's great to have, because something that I never ever do, but my master taught me to do, so I neglect him, was to jot down the colors that you use. If you're doing color tattoos.
Oh, that is so smart.
Just so you remember the fucking colors. And like, if you're mixing colors and you have to do a touch-up, most likely you're not going to remember exactly how you mixed it. So just do a quick little note in that notebook with that client. So you have the name and you have the tattoo, and then you just write the colors. That way, there is no questions. You just know, and it's going to be perfect every time. I'm saying this now so that I will remember this, but I won't.
Accountability.
No, I do have like a couple of notes in my iPad for the sketches, but like I just keep forgetting it, and I keep thinking, I'll remember this. But, fast forward 3 months, I probably changed most of the colors anyways and bought new ones. And it's like...
You said you wanted black, right?
Exactly.
On the third visit. It was black, right?
So I think that's number one best reason for me to own a sketchbook. But then also number two, just sort of that friendly, idea bank. You just toss all your stupid shit into, and it just sticks in there. And then when you're sitting at home, you don't know what to draw, or you want to paint a new painting or something, start flipping through that thing, just like the notes that we brought up in our iPhones. All of a sudden, you have like a gazillion new ideas that you can work off of, maybe even combine a few. Like, it's the best thing.
I'm going to go back to my sketchbook from last year and the year before and go through the back of my sketchbook, because I have a lot of thumbnails there, like a lot of thumbnails. I wish I drew them all on one page, but I didn't.
And I think thumbnails is probably your best friend when it comes to sketchbooks in general. And hopefully everybody out there knows what a thumbnail is. If you don't, it's just a really, really teeny tiny sketch that shows you the idea of the piece that you want to create.
Yeah.
For somebody else, it might not make any sense at all. They
all.
might not even be able to read what it's supposed to look like. But for you, you know
it's
exactly
the whole composition.
what it is.
Like it gives you everything. There are no details. There are no eyes on your characters.
No.
There is no room for that.
It's a blotch of something.
Yeah, I have it's silhouettes basically. Like this there, that here.
Exactly. It sort of shows you movement in the picture or whatever
you're trying to draw.
I'm going to go a little bit back to that when we talk a little bit more about Inktober stuff in tools. But yeah. And then, of course, you have the fancy sketchbook for me, which is more like I want it to be more of an art book, kind of like what you have with your Inktober's, because it's just awesome to go through where every piece
they're all there.
It's like a finished painting, but in a sketchbook. And that is like a humongous project for me to do because I never take time to actually use that sketchbook. But I would love to have that at some point. So those are sort of the three different types of sketchbooks that I have. One business, one just for my head, and one for artsy-fartsy stuff. Do you have any other usages?
I'm just thinking,
Juices.
Joseph. What I would say is just have a purpose when you have another sketchbook. You know, just find one where you can do all of it. And a lot of complaints is like, but this, like the Copics go through the page. Then let them go through the page. Who cares? It's a sketchbook.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know why people give a shit.
You just want a new page where you can doodle stupid
shit
shit on.
Do you know how many times I've painted through the page and then done something else on the other side without Copics, just to kind of like, I'll just take a ballpoint or like a marker and just like draw something using that
I could probably use this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This
and then you build off of that. So it's just another tip. Like, I'm going to give these tips at the end of this topic.
Yeah.
But I have one sketchbook right now that I use since I'm drawing the ink style, because I just want to keep that consistent. I don't want to have to flip through another book to find these, so I'm trying to contain them all in one place.
Yeah.
And it's basically an art book. Like, I don't sketch in this book. Like, I'll sketch on a side paper now, because I found that it's so much fun to flip through, and I have a style that kind of lends itself without pressure. Like, okay, I have this thumbnail, I'll just put it on this page.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't have to worry. And I draw on both sides, so, you know, I can't sell these because they're double-paged. And I don't care. No, but I don't care. They're not for sale. I'm never going to sell those. So that's another thing that kind of takes away the pressure, knowing that, you know, these are just for me. But I think it's really good to have a sketchbook, and I do have a lot of sketchbooks by now.
Yeah.
And I haven't decided which ones I want to sort of go in and just loosely sketch other stuff, you know, because my style is like the Opa stuff and the ink stuff. It's such a, like, it seems like a big part of the art that I do today, but I am not that artist only. You know what I mean? Like, that is not, like, that has been my style for just like a small period of time.
Yeah.
Whereas the other stuff that I do has been with me all my life. You know what I mean? So I'll have another sketchbook, but I really, like, even if someone considers me good, I still feel that I need to go with something cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll get one of those flimsy sketchbooks and draw. Like, I think I'm going to get the Leuchtturm with the thin papers.
Yeah.
So that I can just doodle more relaxed. Because the thick paper, the 180 gram paper, like, it puts pressure on you. Like, it
but 180
does.
is not that much.
But
you know?
It is for me. It is though, that, like, it feels like I'm like I'm messing shit up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
just by doodling on it. Like I want to do something else with it. So it creates a pressure that isn't there.
Yeah.
Whereas if I buy the flimsy paper, like I have a small Leuchtturm with the flimsy paper.
Yeah,
the
80, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know. Probably.
Maybe even smaller.
It feels
Yeah,
sometimes
thinner, I mean.
it sometimes feels thinner than that.
Or lighter,
Or
I
lighter,
guess.
yeah, I don't know.
because
I don't even
grams.
care. Yeah. But it's just that it's just such a it's so like it immediately just relaxes me.
Sorry
to
for my
have-
stomach
no, no,
today. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
but-
fuck is happening.
But I never like I hear it, but it never like I've never heard it in the podcast.
No, it's been going on since we started, more or less. And I'm like, what
Nice.
the
But
fuck
that's
is
the-
going
the
on?
food is settling in. Now.
Yeah.
But I think just like if you want to have something like an art book, have that. Don't call it a sketchbook. It's an art book then.
Yeah, yeah,
And then have a sketchbook where you can actually sketch,
exactly.
where you can go crazy. Like if you look at my early Opa and Link sketchbooks, they have a lot of mistakes. There are pages where I just drew something and I was like, oh shit, I just put Link in the ground, for example, and I put him, below where I set the actual ground where he could put his feet. And then I just moved on. You know what I mean? Like no second.
You
like,
just
thoughts
left
or-
them in the hole.
Yep, I just left them. I was like, this is garbage. I'll just move on. And then on the next page, I just started sketching from scratch. Sometimes the same composition. And I was like, yeah, it still sucked, but he's above ground. And so it is just about the way that you are as an artist. Like, if having an art book puts a lot of pressure, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would say just draw loose arcs, or do something like that, and then just have flimsy sketchbooks. Or if you have a studies sketchbook, I think that the more sketchbooks you have, the harder it gets.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think just get a cheap one, because you'll get better faster if the more you draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And reflect and actually put your thoughts down instead of trying to make them great immediately in this fancy sketchbook.
Exactly.
It's going to hold you back. You're going to draw fewer lines. You're going to progress slower.
Yeah.
Because
And
you're
gonna
always afraid.
Yeah, and you're going to get pissed because you're not drawing the right
Exactly.
thing, or it's not pretty enough, or like it's
That is
just
my-
so
dude,
much
that's such-
unnecessary pressure to put on yourself.
Dude, that is me, like, I think like 12 to 20. Like,
yeah, I think us,
that
I
age.
guess.
So stupid. Like, actually, even longer than that. I just needed to make everything perfect. I just couldn't, like, this is a cool sketch or, like, a good idea. I wasn't there. Like, if the sketch was a piece.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
But it's because we looked at J. Scott Campbell's sketches,
yeah.
and you're like, well, okay, so that's what a sketch is supposed to look like.
Yeah,
And
I
you just
think-
want to shoot yourself.
Yeah, like a
It's just
compiled
like,
sketchbook of the best
what
shit
the
he's ever
fuck?
done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It all looks so effortless, but perfect, And like to this day, flipping through that first Danger Girl sketchbook,
Yeah, fuck him.
it's insane. Like it's so, even the
Fuck
small,
that guy.
like quick
Yeah,
thumbnails
just-
or.
yeah. The thumbnails are also very good.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so polished. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, but that just testifies to how fucking awesome he is as an artist.
Yeah, dude, yes. That's over time. He's drawn that shit
Every
as a
day,
professional
every day,
yeah.
for years
Hours,
and years
yeah.
and years and years.
But it's not just one drawing a day. He has to do a lot of
Yeah.
drawings, like because he did interiors as well.
Exactly.
So a lot of.
We're
fucking
probably talking 12 hours a day, 7 days a week
Dude,
for
yeah,
years.
for years. So
So-
you get pretty good at what you sort of invest time in.
Plus him being in the office with all of these
yeah,
geniuses.
Jim Lee and
Exactly.
Alex Garner,
Inking all of their
the crazy
stuff.
people,
That's
yeah.
how he started. Like, of course you're going to get good.
Yeah.
Like, you're tracing amazing art all the time and then incorporating that into your own.
And he was good before he.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, that's how he got
like,
the job.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it is.
But
it is
fuck,
just
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted. That's why I post my thumbnails now on Instagram,
Yeah.
just to show what they're based off of.
Yeah.
Because you
And
see
they
the-
also look good.
but
like,
they're-
that's
but,
the,
but
the
when
cool
you
thing.
look at them, they're very rough. You
Yeah.
know, like when you start looking closely, like he did nothing here. Like the trees are just like I just like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like one stroke and then I just like bup bup bup. That's a tree.
Yeah.
And you read it as a tree because I've done it so many times now
Yeah.
that it reads like it's a
But
framing.
That's
thing.
actually interesting because, I mean, I know that I can read your thumbnails like
Yeah.
you can,
Yeah.
but like, can
can everyone else?
yeah, is
I
it
think they've
as-
gotten clearer, so I think yes
I'm
to
gonna
some extent.
I'm gonna show it to Sana just to get
that
like
would be interesting.
just see what she sees.
That is interesting because I tried to explain my Raven idea to Maria and she was like, talking to a madman.
Yeah, I've tried
Dude.
to
Yeah,
explain my
dude.
stuff as well, and she's very supportive and very into
Oh,
it.
same, but,
but
she was,
but you can see that
yeah.
there's
Dude, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I think I know day 5 already. Like, this is Raven and it turns into a storm and then and her the power, and you can feel the power sort of like the rocks. And she was like, she just like had this grin grow on her face. Like, I have no idea what you're
like
talking
just
about.
just look supportive.
Yeah. Dude, yes. Look supportive was the word there. Because I was like, Robert would have gotten this.
Yeah.
Like, he would have gotten the
Well, I did.
exact feeling.
You gave me the exact speech.
Exact
just today.
yeah.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah. So it was so clear in my head with the bird and the wings and the storm, you know, like, you just like,
Yeah,
nah, she didn't
I
get
mean,
it.
you even over-explained it. I saw the
But,
whole thing
dude,
immediately.
But that's because she fucking scarred me.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
just like, you're cute. Yeah, but,
Try some rando on the train on the way home.
yeah. Listen.
Hey, dude, I have this amazing thing for day
well, I
5.
actually did have a,
Another stalker?
yeah,
Oh, really?
first stalker in a while, actually.
Wait.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I-
second stalker in a while, but still stalker.
I've been lucky, like, in terms of not
Uh,
that many people on the train
I think, yeah.
whenever I do draw. So I get, like, a full cabin to myself, more or less. It's really
Oh,
nice.
we can talk about that guy later, though. He was fun.
Okay.
Because yeah, shit. What was the thing we were talking about before this?
Sketchbooks and your Raven idea.
Yeah,
and
before the Raven idea, like the actual
the
discussion.
thumbnails and reading thumbnails, being able
Before
to
that.
that I can understand.
Yeah, before that, before we got that was the derail. That's the thing.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while. No, but who cares?
Uh,
It was about having multiple sketchbooks somehow.
And that you
Eh.
like the art book rather than sketchbook, and that you use yours as an art book.
Yeah,
painting on
I
both
use mine as an
sides.
art book
Mhm.
now because I kind of like the consistency and I can do the style effortlessly.
Yeah.
So it's okay to do that, but I can't. Like, if I was to use it as a sketchbook right now,
Mm.
I don't see it as a sketchbook, so I feel like I'm ruining it.
Oh yeah,
I'm ruining the experience of turning the pages. That sketchbook, I feel, is
but it's so cohesive.
Yeah.
and you
exactly.
like you have this one thing throughout the whole.
and also, it's my last one, so
yeah, there you go.
There you
So,
go.
I
It's
mean,
the last
it's
one with
already
the old
precious.
paper, yeah.
It's already precious.
so yeah. But the thing is, I can produce in it.
Yeah.
I don't have the pressure that I can't perform, you know. So this one, but I need to find one I feel that is more relaxed, where I
Yeah.
can develop style, like play around with, like, I love how this artist does something, or
And just
"Ooh,
test it out.
Yeah, or just draw flowers, you know,
Yeah.
vegetation, rocks, whatever. Like, I want a sketchbook where I can do all those things.
I
and
want a
not
life
care.
where I can have the time to do all those things.
There is no, you got to make it, man. You got to make it. But
Yeah.
you draw, like I said, off work as well.
Yeah.
For work.
Yeah,
So it's
that's the thing. Like it
yeah.
never ends. Like, yeah,
hmm Have kids and then have them draw for you.
smart. Yes, child labor.
Yep. Always works.
You heard it here first.
First.
Yeah, sketchbook heroes. Put it on a mug.
Child
labor.
Child labor heroes. But yeah, I and yeah, actually, one thing that I really like, a sketchbook or like a concept about sketchbooks and diaries that we talked about, to dive into kind of the tips of how to sort of commit to a sketchbook. Because I think
Olon of a sketchbook.
no, but we've
Yeah.
talked about committing, you know, like just don't quit, basically. That's what we've talked about. Committing. Don't
Yeah,
quit,
yeah,
motherfuckers.
exactly.
I think sketchbooks can be like your first client. You know what I mean? Like the first way to kind of like test your wings into committing and finishing something. And I think your sketchbook, like, get a smaller one. We all get these fucking thick motherfuckers that take forever. And if you want to switch them up and try different paper, don't get like a 200-page sketchbook if you're slow.
No,
Get the thin, flimsy motherfuckers.
exactly. Because yeah, like I don't know. Maybe I've finished 3 sketchbooks in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, and I've owned hundreds.
Yeah, dude. Ugh.
It's it's so
I feel
stupid.
so bad about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But It is that. I always get like it's too fancy or too big, and
Dude,
I
bought
always
the
want
Leuchtturm, the A4 one.
Same.
Not touch the page.
I used it for Inktober though.
Yes, you did. You
Yeah.
drew that cool turtle in it as well,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. That is a
Nah.
tattoo now.
It is. Oh, that is awesome. And I haven't touched mine. I bought it
And-
years ago.
Yeah, and I think maybe I must have gone through maybe half of it.
I think we talked about it on the show. Oh, you did? Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But I mean, that's
Yeah.
and then it just like, where is it now?
Dude, it's in the pile with the others.
Yeah.
That's as much as
somewhere.
I think I have a couple of big purpose ones as well, but I don't like the paper in them. Like the paper on them is a bit brighter. It's nice,
Yeah.
but it's not that nice dark tan.
No, it's not the OG
Yeah,
OG paper.
but it is nice. I kind of like that it has textures and stuff. On
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
and you can see the fibers of like all the different paper types that are like in it.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna get to was that if anyone listening has heard about bullet journals, which is basically like a creative way of journaling, where you sort of like you can, like, it's a really big thing. It's called Bujo or something like that, or maybe that's a brand, bullet journal.
Yeah.
And
Because that sounds familiar.
yeah,
But
so
Bullet
basically
journal
it's
I haven't heard of.
like I
But
don't
just
know.
bullet points, I guess, or
No. It's a bullet journal is you can write in your weekly goals. You can write, like you can do a page for every day. You plan like a week. You plan a week out or a month out, and then you can, like, you can draw in it. You can, like, you could do like 365 days. Like, I think that's how many pages there are in one of those as well. And you could like plan your year out basically. Like, so let's say like, today to do these 3 things, you write those down, drawing ideas for today, blah, 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 blah. You draw them out like little thumbnails or something. Like, if you look up bullet journaling, there are some beautiful fucking sketchbooks that people have done, like sketchbooks. They're both a sketchbook and a creative planner, basically.
Oh, okay.
And they meet, and it's so good, and it looks so much fun. I don't know how they make them beautiful, because people do. I would just fuck them up. Mine would be, like a mess, like a mad scientist kind of shit, like, or a mental patient, not a mad scientist, more of just mad person.
Awesome.
In a psych ward. But people do some amazing things, like in these sketchbooks or bullet journals, and I think that is the approach you should have with your sketchbook. It should be for writing, planning, drawing, doodling, part of a song lyric that you want to look up later.
Blowing your nose.
Nose. Yeah, exactly. Just everything you can fit into it, I think will create a better environment for yourself, like creatively.
It's a life book. It's not a sketchbook.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's this, like, where diary meets drawing, like, it's such a great combination, and you don't have to show it to anyone. And just have, like, if you have a long-term goal, you have that as a reminder somewhere, like, I hate all that shit. But I still believe in having goals, you know what I mean? I just don't like quotes and stuff like that, But if you do have something that you kind of enjoy, like, no matter what I think, you should add it in your fucking journal, sketchbook, whatever the fuck you want to call that book. I think it's such a great approach. Yeah. Like, you write out your week, like Tuesday, dentist, blah, 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 work, more dentist. I have no idea.
Because,
so because.
That's all you do.
But I just spent time at the dentist.
I'm so alone.
But it's such a great way to kind of play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, it made me want to do like one of those, but for every day, where I do a quick sketch of the tattoo that I'm doing and write down all the worries, and because I'm always nervous.
But also
and
the color coding, the blah, blah, blah that we
all
talked
of that
about,
stuff.
all that stuff. And it's
then,
like, some of them are even dated. So you just have the date at the top, and then you can just fill it out.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to go get one of those.
And
What
then
time is
maybe
it? I'm just like,
maybe you can print out like the finished tattoo and kind of glue that on the other side of it when it's
that would
finished.
be so cool.
To be like a full circle thing, like straight circle with everything.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I did that a lot when I worked at King, where I would just open a page in my sketchbook. I would do some sketches, and then we would have these, like, the smallest Post-its, and I would do compositions on those, because they are basically the same format as the levels that we put in the backgrounds that we put in the game.
Oh, okay.
And so I would draw them on those small Post-its, and then I would just like take the best ideas and put them in my sketchbook. This is the one I'm going to work on, and these two were so good that I'm going to use them for the next one. And then you would just go to the next page. Yeah, and then you go to the next page. You have some ideas left over in the back somewhere, that you can like, okay, I'll take these ones. They work with this. Or, oh, fuck, I have a snow one that I tried out, on a thumbnail. And you
find
just,
it,
yeah.
put it in. Yeah, cool.
So you just put them in a sketchbook so the Post-it glue doesn't get ruined and it keeps it flat, So it's a really nice way to play around. And I love like drawing something and then like, oh, I fucked that up. Or like, oh shit, this is a better idea. And then you put a Post-it on top of the Post-it or like the sketchbook.
Yeah.
And it's like pink suddenly, go from white to pink. And then you just continue on top of the Post-it and you have this like mountain instead of, whatever else was there before.
Yeah, penis.
And you're like, yes, this is perfect. This penis is looking great as a mountain.
Yeah.
And like, no joke, sometimes I would draw characters and like, oh, that arm is wrong. And then I put a Post-it and then you just draw another arm on top of the Post-it,
That's
and
awesome.
And it's just such a satisfying way. So even if the thing sucks, like the whole makes it better. You know what I mean? Like the whole composition or whatever the fuck you have there will make it look better than it is. Because it is awesome. Like you see your thoughts, your mind, the way that you were like tackling the problem. Just playful, fun,
and keep it that way.
You keep it that way because there's like a joke or like you know to yourself that you're like, what the fuck is that? And then you Google it and you're like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, this thing. Because I've done that so many times in like really old sketchbooks where I just like, I've written something down and I have no memory of what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't find out what it is. Like it's been too long and Google searches won't do anything. But sometimes it's part of a lyric or something that someone says in a movie, and you're like, oh, I need to look this up later. And it's such a nice way to do it. So bullet journals, I could really recommend everyone. Cool. They are like fancy enough, but the paper isn't fancy enough for you to give a shit.
That's awesome.
So, I'll probably get one of those. Fuck. Just to do like really rough sketching. And it's a bit like it's probably like slightly bigger than A5, I think. They're a bit like wider or something to really fit some stuff. But they're like, I really like thick sketchbooks. I don't know. Like, I don't care about the flimsy shit.
Yeah.
I like the hefty ones to draw in, but the paper, I need it to be cheaper.
Yeah. But if it's thicker, then you have more of a sort of a base to paint on or draw on. So it's not going to bend and be flimsy that way.
Yeah. If you want to paint and stuff, there are even like watercolor stuff, paper sketchbooks, like not as many pages, but that's also cool.
Yeah. In a way, that's almost easier. Like when it's not that many, because then it's not a big daunting task to.
But that was what I meant. Like, I'm going to use that as a yearly sort of thing. So I need to do something there every day. Even if it's just like write a couple things.
Yeah, but I want to get one of those too. But I think I'll try, if I can remember, I'll try to have it from day one of next year.
Next year, of course. That's what you want to do.
Because maybe I'll have my life in order by then.
Yeah, about that.
Not so much to write, No. So I can fit it in one page.
It's all good. Just like all good.
Fantastic.
Through the whole
Fantastic
365
life.
pages.
Yes.
But just a few tips to kind of wrap this up is like, so if you have your sketchbooks, like how do you sort of like, if you hate everything you do, that part of having a sketchbook. First of all, like just to summarize, it shouldn't be artwork. You know what I mean? Like it should be sketches, ideas, loose ideas. Or like, I want to try these colors in combination. Like all that stuff. Like if you want to try a couple of colors, do that in the sketchbook.
Yeah.
Don't take another piece of paper. The sketchbook is that other piece of paper, okay? That's where you should put them. And having color palettes. Like, for example, I love testing markers. Like, let's see which ones are dry and which ones are good. And then you just fill a page, with different colors. You just do like, no, yes, yes, yes. And you just do, like green, blue, red, orange, pink, blah. Just like, it looks so nice.
So satisfying.
So satisfying. And you fill the page with it and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do sketches on that page and you're like, I'm going to use these 3 markers. Do 3 like swatches at the top where you say, these are my colors, and you write the name of the colors that you've used if you use like markers. And
very professional.
And
Very satisfying.
And it's so satisfying,
Yeah.
dude. It's so satisfying. And just maybe just have a page where you just make color combinations.
Yeah.
Like these 3 colors, mix them.
Yeah.
Okay, this looks shit. You write shit, and then you mix 3 other colors, and you're like,
This
use
is
this
it.
for later.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you could do that with, skin, because people are like, oh, what colors do you use for skin color? All of them.
Yeah.
All of them depending on the light source.
Exactly.
And you do a couple of different ones, like this is night with blue sky, this is blah, 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 and you play around. But I think my best tip, though, for like balancing your sketchbook if you hate something so much that you can't stop hating it is to draw more stuff around it.
Yeah. Fill it out. Yeah.
Fill it out, yeah. Because I think that...
Or drown it out.
Drown it out, dude. That is the word, yeah. Because just like, let's say you drew a face and it's so tardy that you hate it. Like you're like, what the fuck is this? This is garbage. I am trash at drawing. Yes, but if you draw more trash around it, it'll be a big pile of distracting trash.
Exactly.
and as a whole, all this trash will look impressive.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of artists that I'm like, I don't like this style. But they've drawn so much of it, I can't help but to admire this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Because when I look at their, let's say on Instagram, I go in and I'm like, I'm not going to follow this person. But then you get to one of those pages where they have like a lot of stuff on one page and you're like, it is still impressive that they managed to like leave no white left on this paper with this stuff. Like it has an impact. Like the whole will always impress somehow,
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way to... Like, if you move forward in your sketchbook and then like, oh, okay, I've started this sketch here. I need to try something before I, like, especially if you're, like, drawing with something that you can't go back on and you only have that sketch and it's, a bit more advanced than the other sketches. You can go back to a previous page where there is some white left, beside that stupid character you drew, like, a couple of days ago. And you can start drawing, like, on the side there, like, oh, yeah, these 3 colors will work. And then you go back to the page where you were and you try those colors on the thing,
Yeah, like commit to the
actual like sketch.
Yeah.
But just like go back and forth in your sketchbook. Like, how many times I've like sometimes my I draw in a tone sketchbook, so my sketches kind of fade over time, especially if I've drawn them with a color that's similar to the paper. And like I've turned the page back and forth so many times that like the sketches are like disappearing, and then I'll go back on top of those sometimes and start painting like with a marker or with a liner, just filling in the sketch and like improving it because I feel more confident or I got new ideas. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put armor on this naked body that I drew here for practice.
Yeah.
And then just start, and then like, ugh, and then you just go back, like, I failed that.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Sometimes I just want to ink. Sometimes I just want to color. I'll go back to an older piece and just go over it because it's been like a month and you don't care anymore. Like back then you cared about ruining it. Now it's been a month later, you go back, you're like, ugh, I'm just going to paint over that.
Yeah.
And you do, and it's fine, and it's better.
And it's, perfect for warm-ups as well,
Dude,
like
so
just to get
good.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
Reusing the sketch.
and revisiting
tying
pages. Yeah.
tying it back to the previous episode with just reusing shit.
Yeah.
Going back and just keep going at it. I mean, eventually, once you've gone back over all of your ugly sketches, they're all gonna look fucking amazing.
But that's what I mean. Like, and even if they don't, there will be so much information on those pages.
The sketchbook will be complete.
Yes, you will commit to that sketchbook and you will finish it, rather than having specific sketchbooks. Specific sketchbooks, you know what that means? That means they're going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And ever, and you're
Fill
never
out
gonna,
space in your place.
In your place, yeah. You'll have like 3 to 5 pages in them, and then you're like, yeah, when I have a good idea, I'll get back to that one because it cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
And no.
I don't even see those anymore.
But that's what I mean. Like, I don't even know where my moleskin is. I know I still have it.
Yeah, me too.
I just don't know where I have it. Like, it's not like, oh, I should dig that up and draw in it. No, I shouldn't.
No.
So just like keep it loose. Find something that feels cheap. I think the first thing we said, find something cheap. And like, if your immediate feeling is that I'm going to fuck this shit up, that's the sketchbook you should have.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's a
don't
great
know.
tip.
Yeah, I think that is the best fucking tip. Like, if you feel anything but that, it's the wrong sketchbook for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Toolies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a sketchbook, not an art book, unless you
Exactly.
want to look at art. Yeah, that makes no sense.
No
we
sense.
were already moving on. And we're back.
And we're back. Very back.
Yes, very back.
Baby Scott, very back. Shut up. You talk about your stupid shit.
Yeah, awesome. All
Buy
right.
expensive sketchbooks. No, just kidding.
Exactly.
I bought a new expensive.
No. Okay, so I'm going to dive in on a crazy rant here with I guess the idea that I had for this Inktober was to just sort of expand the storytelling part of my life rather than just do sketches and pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea for me is to try to make all the 31 days of Inktober into a cohesive story with one character that we follow throughout, just like Ilias has done with his Alpa character now. But have it more story driven in a way. Like you should be able to see the whole story unfold when you go in the full feed of the Instagram posts.
Like my Zelda thing, where I started like that and then.
Yeah, and then you just, I guess, couldn't hack it.
Halfway through, I was like, I'm not getting anywhere.
Because I know myself and I know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was eliminate that. And the best possible way for me to do that was to create my own sort of prompts to go with the existing prompts, to always have that as, well, whatever happens, if I just follow that, sorry, my watch is hitting the thing. If I just follow my prompts with whatever I draw, it's going to be a cohesive story in a way. So what I did was I took the hero's journey is what it's called. It's 12 points of storytelling, more or less. It's extremely like overused in all media, but like Star Wars, for example, uses this. I think in every Rick and Morty episode, they go through, like with every snippet of their crazy thing, that's a full, like 12 points of that. Like, so you can do like a full inception of this, in eternity. So what I did with these 12 steps was I made them into 10, so they would be easier to just apply to the 31 days, which gives me 1 day of just total freedom, the last one. But just so I repeat the 10 steps 3 times, so you will have like a start, middle, and end, but each one of those is like a start to finish type of story. So you'll go through just mundane life, some form of, something happens and he needs help. He gets some sort of gain and gets, I don't know, a superpower or something, whatever it is, goes back to normal life, but as an evolved higher form of being. And then from there goes the next one, the next one, the next one. That's how easy it is, more or less. I made a fancy piece of, I was going to say paper, but post on the Discord where you can find this.
What, you posted it in the Inktober.
Yes, so
channel,
it's in
right?
the Inktober channel on our Discord, which you can find if you go into the Sketchbook Heroes Instagram. But so just to explain the story beats really, really quickly, there are 10 of them. So pretty much you go, if you do a 50-50, you have the top part of like the first, I guess the top 5, if you make it all into a circle, they're the safe zone. So that's where life is kind of normal and you, like nothing really, really happens and it's not very dangerous. And then the bottom part is where like all the dangerous stuff happens and where you get that full evolution of the character, or like this new thing happens that is challenging and makes...
The full journey, basically.
The full journey, exactly. So that's just how I did it. But so you start off with just normal mundane life, then you have a call to action where something happens and the journey begins, more or less. The third point is they get some sort of help from either themselves or somebody else from outside, where they just learn whatever the fuck is happening. And then from there, you have the departure where they kind of accept that they have to go on this journey. So that's the first 4 steps of it. After that is pretty much when they depart, that's where the scary sort of thing starts happening. And that's they walk into the scary territory. So after the departure, you have the test. And that's where you have the hero needs to go through some form of test to really challenge themselves. Maybe they fail, maybe they don't, but after that comes the gain, and that's when they have learned something. When they've learned this, there has to be some form of crisis to just make the story more wowsy, I guess. Something has to happen. And after the crisis, they get the win. They start going back home, or they decide to go back, and they have evolved, and then we're back to stage 1 again. Like, that's in really, really quick beats how this circle will work. And all I did was I just placed all of these 10 points next to the Inktober prompt list. So just the first 3 as an example. The first 3 of my story beat circle is life, the call, and help. The first 3 prompts is crystal, suit, and vessel. So it's just crystal with life. So mundane life, but insert crystal in some way with your character. Number 2 is suit, and you have a call to help. So something with suiting up or putting on a suit, and something needs to happen where, like, this person, your hero, needs to help somebody. And the third one is vessel, and it's help. So some form of vessel with some outside help coming in to maybe explain the story. And you just keep going like that. In my head, it sounds super easy. I know it's not, but I created this, so obviously I understand what the fuck I'm saying. But if you want to understand this more, or you want more help, please just write me on Instagram or at me at the Discord, and I can try to explain it a little bit more thoroughly. But yeah, if you are interested in doing this, it would be awesome to know that you are, and maybe we can help each other out, and we can bounce ideas off each other and stuff. Yeah. And I have decided to go with my horny devil type of character that I did, which is a teddy bear with a skeleton head with horns. And yeah, stay tuned to see whatever the fuck happens with that little dude. But yeah, so that is my way of tackling Inktober this year. It might just not work at all, but I'm hoping that I will be able to do something out of this. I've sketched out the first 6 days of Inktober, so I have a rough idea, and that is, in my head at least, a cohesive story. Obviously need to polish this turd a bit more to make it look good, but I can see it working. This is, like, for me, that's, I think, the most important, that I can feel like, well, I am kind of onto something here. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens. Like, maybe I have to write this huge story plot line under each post just to keep the actual story comprehensive or like linear. But my hope is that, like, doesn't matter which country you come from, but you can still look at all these images and get that story. Yeah. So that's the goal, and then we'll see how far I get. Yeah. But yeah, and I'm gonna be drawing it just traditionally in a flimsy sketchbook.
Yeah, I think that's smart. That's smart, because it is complicating things. Because now you have sort of almost 2 prompts. You know, one that is the story, like the hero's journey, like beats, and then you have, you know, so 2 things to kind of and make them work together.
And for me, it shouldn't feel like an extra thing. It should be more of a helping hand.
Yeah.
Rather than to like what the fuck should I be doing, like, with Crystal? Okay, it's just a mundane life, but you need to know that like, this is the hero, I guess, just living normal life, but just insert Crystal somewhere. Like it could be a stripper named Crystal, or it could be.
I do get what you mean. The thing I'm saying is though that we both discovered reading through the prompt list is that it isn't very story friendly.
No, it's a shitty prompt list. It's a shitty prompt list.
And we thought of like for maybe next year or something, maybe come up with our own drawing challenge that we could all be doing instead.
Exactly.
That is focusing more. Like I think like it caters to the story, but it doesn't have to be like you could do you know, one-offs on all of them.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it a story, we would write the prompt list, the Sketchbook Heroes Inktober.
Some great name.
Some great name that you all will
list.
help us find for our drawing challenge. We haven't decided if it's going to be like 31 days that no one has time for, but you know, we'll figure the details out. We'll write in the Discord about our ideas, and you guys can help us out there with what you think is reasonable as well.
Yeah. We would really love your input on this one, because this is something I think we as a community should create together, not just me and Ilias sitting here rambling.
Yep.
Like this feels like
let's make a art challenge that is a bit challenging, but also, you know, doable.
Yeah,
like it should
for
be
all of us.
For all of us, yeah.
And by all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But
No
then
matter the
obviously we have veto because we're
of course.
We're the coolest and bestest.
The coolest. And we made a podcast because we
came up with the idea, okay?
Yeah, we like to talk. So we like to talk so much that we created our own box where we get to talk right into and give it to all you.
Yeah, it's actually horrible.
It's horrible.
We are the biggest ego testicles
ever. Narcissist ego testicles, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, that's the word.
There's always two.
But I like that. There's always two. Very nice. Very nice.
But yeah, sorry. You were giving me compliments?
Yes. No, I like that you tie story into it because I find that is the hardest thing to do with Inktober.
Exactly. Because, normally it's just like rando drawings. And like that's all well and good, and I think it's great, and especially if you can follow the prompt list. I mean, it is very difficult in many situations.
And I would like to make our own challenge because we could, you know, like I feel that Inktober, it doesn't feel like it has this community anymore. You know what I mean?
It's not as special, you know?
Yeah, because like
it's still a difficult thing to do, but it's not.
But I'm also thinking that the controversy and all that has kind of like. I don't know what exactly happened with all that stuff, and we really don't care.
No.
But it would be nice to do something that people don't have a bad taste in their mouths doing. So it would be fun to do something. Like I know there are some cool ones out there already, like Sortember and, you know, Draw October and stuff like that. And that's awesome. But I think that there you go, Nitrous. But I still feel like they're sometimes just too generic. It's just draw stuff, you know? And it would be fun if we could maybe make it smaller so it isn't every day.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be doable. Like even if you work full time, you feel that it's worth it. Like, because I love all these, you know, I love Mermaid, for example, where like a lot of people just draw mermaids, crazy fucking mermaids every day, you know.
Oh, and I had totally missed that Drawtober wasn't every day. I thought it was every day.
I thought it was every day as well. So that's what I like as well. Like it's like doable. You know what I mean?
That like you get these prompts for these sort of 5 things or whatever, and you get a lot of time to allocate to.
Dude, I think
piece,
when we did the vague challenge that we've talked or I mentioned like a lot lately is. I like that challenge. We had a lot of people join it. Yeah. And it was such a, like, we just had such a thin fucking plot line for that.
But that's what made it so great.
And it made it so great because everyone drew something.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so cool to see all the different takes of this one little stupid idea.
The guy, ordbilder on, like they sell books on Instagram and Twitter. Ordbilder. I bought some of their like the comics that they've translated to Swedish, but he made one out of clay.
Oh
you know, and he made it like a bird with this like arm, you know, with the.
That was awesome.
It was awesome, dude. Just like people like, oh shit, I could draw, like I could sculpt this, you know, or like make it in another way.
We made people create
that is what I'm talking about.
So
and
sick.
that is what I want.
Yeah, we are gods.
We just need to. That's what you got out of it. We are gods. But just like, incentivize people to pick up a pen.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want the challenge to be.
And fun.
Because
Like,
the
I
thing
think
is,
key just to have a lot of fun with it, and also the community just.
but imagine if our drawing challenge wasn't just like, imagine if it was like a Marvel movie where when I watch it with my wife, she's like, they have this storyline. Or like Deadpool, for example, is better than like the Marvel movies because Deadpool has layers.
Yeah.
Or like they all do.
Perfect.
But I mean, like, if you're a nerd, you'll get this much content, like a lot of content. If you're not as invested, you'll get content.
Yeah, you
But
still
if you-
get sort of a good love story
Yeah, exactly.
with Deadpool.
And if,
but for us, it's like there's so
so much references.
all the jokes,
yeah,
all the comic stuff, all the action movie stuff,
Dude.
all the romantic stuff, the drama stuff. Like, it's just, it keeps
That's
going.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, it's Celine Dion. It's like, that's the stuff that everyone catches on to because, because of age. But then you have all the other stuff.
Fire Fist.
Fire Fist. Yeah. I even got my own prison wallet now. But it's just like, it has so many fucking, like, it caters to everyone.
Yeah.
But it caters, like, it's just a smart way to do it. And I'm thinking that, like, if our drawing challenge could incentivize people to just, like, oh, I haven't drawn in 20 years. Oh, well, here's your opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. I was talking to the guy at the burger place today and almost, I hope, convinced him to join the Inktober. Because he's apparently drawing stuff
Very
too.
cool.
Haven't seen
Very
whatever
cool.
it is.
Nah, he's
But
probably
yeah.
not good, but it's
But
cool.
yeah,
Nah.
still trying to motivate people and
I
inspire.
can't have him quit.
No.
He can't quit burgers. Oh, you have a dream about drawing? Yeah, I don't think you could do that.
Make my burger,
You better
bitch.
make your burger. I don't
Or
think
actually take
that's-
my order.
Yeah, take my order. Have someone make a burger for me.
Please. It was so good. We just walk in there now and we
Yeah.
get the drinks.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's not even
like,
asking anymore.
No, it's really
It's
good.
more just like, Norlands, or like, beer?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what he said.
Well,
'cause I
like
had
me
the
last
headphone-
time.
Yeah,
He just
exactly.
asked me for.
I saw
was
him
like,
move his
yeah.
mouth and I'm like, yeah, thumbs up, yes. So good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I like that.
But
But yeah, I had one more thing I wanted to say about Inktober though
yes.
that I discovered, like prepping myself.
Exactly. I was just going to say, or try to remind you that you
Yeah.
had stuff.
And that's like, it's a quickie. So I've sketched out 4 out of the 31 drawings. And what I noticed really early on is, like, once I figure, like, my problem is figuring out the prompts because they suck so much this year.
Yeah, they are challenging.
Dude, they sucked last year, but this year they're so bad that I just don't know what to do with them. So this is probably my last Inktober.
Which is why we're doing our own thing.
Our own thing, yeah. No,
The
'cause
real
I
reason.
can only commit to one.
Yeah.
And if we can make a better one, I would like you join that. Son of a bitch. But what I've noticed is that, like, once, let's say I figured out the ideas, so I got my thumbnails ready, then it's just a matter of time before I got the whole thing down.
Yep.
And it really, like, I think I've done this so much now that I'm starting to put things into scale fast. And now that I don't have it's going to be ink, it's even easier. Because now
Really?
I can just, it's so much easier. Now that I can use Copics and shit, I was like, I'm home.
Awesome.
So what I've noticed, though, is that after a certain point, it's just detail porn.
Oh, yeah.
So I get to a point in the drawing that I should just move on to the next one, because the problem isn't to finish them up, it's to start them.
Yeah.
So after the third one, I was like, what am I doing? I've been drawing for hours, and I've just been, like, Copicing, you know?
Yeah.
Like Copic, dry, layers. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't need to do this. Like, I can do this later. And so now I'm just like, okay, I got enough of it down. I can just, like, shove it aside and
You're just
start on the
prepping.
next. Exactly. So what I've done is basically I've drawn 70% of the drawing.
Yeah.
I don't need to continue.
Yeah.
Like, I can just put that aside and go to the next one, get that idea fleshed out. That works. Put it aside, 70% done.
I think that's genius. Like,
So-
I would say that is probably the best way to tackle something
I
like
think-
this if you want to do more polished stuff,
Yeah. And
which
also,
your stuff is.
Yeah. And oh, dude, it's so much. Like we looked at the new ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went back to check the prompts from last year's, and the new ones, like this year, are so much like more. Like they have so much
Rich.
more depth. Yeah, like they're like
Yes.
this, because the old ones they were like, oh, this side of the page has stuff,
Yeah.
and then it was just blank.
Yes.
I
Which
didn't
works for Inktober. Like,
no, it worked perfect
It's
for
not
Inktober.
at all like shitting on it, but just looking at that and then comparing it to what you are doing now or for this one,
Yeah.
it's light years.
Yeah, I didn't.
but
notice
still the
either.
same thing.
But that's
the
the cool thing
yeah.
about saving. That's why you should save sketchbooks as well.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to say last time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Making repetition fun is saving stuff and then
Oh, yeah.
comparing it later.
Yeah.
Because that'll show you that the repetition is paying off. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it's such an important thing to kind of
The
mention.
pain, pain is worth the gain,
Yeah,
I guess.
and
or like,
that's the best
yeah.
thing now. It's just a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they're already looking a little better just because I added the element of depth.
Yeah.
Like before, they were like, "Oh yeah, that's further back," but now it's further back. You
Yeah.
know, like you get that. Oh shit, it's misty or it's this. Like it really.
And
was
I
such
love
a
that
game
too
changer.
because I mean not that I guess you haven't sort of decided on exactly what materials you're going to be using because you might change it up, but you've still made it very cohesive just with the 3 that you've shown, or 4
4.
now, because you are using the same materials in these 2 and that you have that same sort of tone in them.
Yeah, it's the same.
And it's
over
just
and over.
like, this is how you should evolve your style. This is really taking it just like, well, you've crawled, you've walked, and now you're running. You know, it's like, it's a perfect progression of
Yeah.
the craft, and
It
it's so
feels so-
cool.
I should have done this
Like-
earlier, I feel, though, because I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to cheat with Copics, and then, like, I should have cheated a long time ago, and that's what I'm saying, like, we all get comfortable in this, like, no, this is the way that I do things, you know?
Yeah.
Don't get caught there. Try everything. Like,
Yeah.
really, that theme song to Zootopia is perfect. Try everything. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one idea is just get your ideas out there, start them out, move on.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, when you get back to them later, it'll be even easier to continue on them. Because it's, you know, like every drawing you draw to a point where you get stuck.
Yes.
And then everything slows down immensely.
Yes.
But every time I've gone back to the sketchbooks, my old ones, and I was like, oh, I struggled so much with this for no reason.
Yeah,
Ha 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 hoo ha. And you're like, solved it in
Ta-da.
seconds.
Yeah.
And you were sitting there for hours, erasing, redrawing, doing the thing. And you can just take a break.
Yep.
And you can fucking solve it later.
This is how I create my tattoo designs, by the way.
That's
I
cool.
start them the evening before, but I never ever do like I am 100% finished. I always leave it where I feel like, well, this is pretty much it.
Yeah, I have it.
And then
now.
I wake up next morning, go back, look at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, pop, done. Like
Very
that,
cool.
and it always works because then you've had that night's sleep. Your brain is sort of fresh and you've molded over the idea in your head while you're sleeping probably, and it's just so easy. Like, yeah, I recommend it to everybody. Like, give it
But it's
a
hard.
little bit of a
'cause
stepping away is difficult.
But
you
I
know?
think why it's so hard to step away as well is that you want to show someone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, I need to post this on social media so that I can get some likes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
I mean, that is my biggest trap when it comes to at
I
least
think
the
it's
artwork.
everyone's fucking trying.
Which is why it's great with the tattoo thing. Like, I only have that one client that I do it for, and the pressure is so off. There's not like a couple of thousand people waiting for me to finish this.
Yeah.
It's only for them and for them only. Like, I always ask if it's all right for me to take a picture of the tattoo. I never assume that I can, so I don't know if I can post it. Like, even if it's the simplest thing, it might be very personal and they don't want to show it. So, like, with that, the pressure is always off. But that makes it even more nerve-wracking because it is so extremely specific. So, yeah, works both ways, I guess. But I should try to see my normal art stuff in that exact same way. I think that would...
It is very good.
I would benefit so much from that, where I just see myself, I guess, as the client. What?
Yeah, that's smart.
Fuck
That is
you,
smart.
Instagram. You ruined my
Dude,
life.
And that's a cool thing about this as well. Like doing the sketches pre-Inktober, and I can't post any of it. Like,
No.
I can't. Like I have so much content right now.
And it's
I
gonna be
haven't-
so polished
Dude,
when it
when
actually
I-
hits.
And I don't have to draw anything in October, like except depending on how far I get.
The rest. Yeah.
Yeah, like hopefully I won't have I'll have a couple of them left, where I
Yeah.
can just
The way it's
Cool.
going, I see you reaching the halfway point
yeah.
October.
Depending if I can find some quick, smart ones that I can just get really fast.
Yeah. I mean, normally that's what happens. And also, you are taking more time now because you
so
have
much.
time.
Yeah.
And
of
that's the
course.
worst. Again, it's that fire up the ass
Yeah,
thing.
but I
with-
don't think I will have time in October.
No.
Because my project is...
And
I'm
this-
already struggling with
This is where I
work.
see my problem as
Yeah.
well. It's like, because I have so little time right now, like balancing all the stuff that I am doing, but trying to relax because that's the one thing
But
I
dude-
need to do. It's horrible.
If you could make this, like if you could make your Inktober sketchier, I think you could pull it off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't the final thing,
No.
but this is the base.
Yeah.
Like, you sketch it out, like, small, and then you just do, like, you find a style that you're comfortable with that like, this I can just whip out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you present them sort of, like, so you have them, and then you can go back at some point and just like, okay, this is what I made, like, this is what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start making the real, comic or however you want to present this.
Yeah.
And like, okay, now I have I kind of like threw out the storyboards or the keyframes for my comic, whatever story you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And then you use that experience to feed into the actual final product
Yeah.
instead of trying to make super polished.
Exactly. And I think like that's some of the learnings that I brought from last year where like just not giving a fuck and
I
just
think last year, though,
finishing.
yeah, the cohesiveness though was there. Like
Yeah.
you just did the thing, and
Yeah.
you had like that drop that came back on everyone. And
But just adding that extra thought to the whole thing, I think will hopefully drive it through and make it into something. But again, like I see this like most things that I do just as a big experiment and just
I think that's good though.
like,
It's
having
a big
fun with it.
like a
Yeah.
public sketchbook thing. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Because sure, you weren't like all crazy about the stuff you did yesteryear. Yesteryear, but last year. But I think there were still like you learned some stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think at least just learning how quick I could punch them out.
Like for example, you were so ahead.
Yeah, well,
You were like, oh yeah, I've done 5 more. You're like, what?
on the same day.
On the same day?
Yeah.
Like it is insane.
It wasn't that hard.
Yeah, you're telling the guy that was struggling. That
Well,
was
I
7
didn't
ahead
follow-
and then 7 behind.
There was no prompts. There was nothing.
Yeah.
It was just like shooting
I
out
think that's
ideas.
even worse, maybe. Just like every year that I've done this, like I've struggled so hard to kind of come up with the ideas for it. Just like, okay, I get draw whatever I want. Like it's just empty up there.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
all right.
we shall see.
Yes. Well, not far left, I guess. Like, not much time left.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
this is out, it'll be 7 days from now, so
Yeah.
the 20th ish.
So yeah, 10 more days. Yes, everybody.
Good
I hope you're
times.
getting ready and hope you are as
You're not
well
ready,
or
you're
more
sweaty.
more excited than we are.
Yeah, dude, I
yeah.
enjoy the drawing. I'm not excited for Inktober.
No,
It's always stress. So
always.
yeah, so hopefully I will be like, cause I enjoy the community around it, but I don't enjoy the actual stress
the
it
thing.
causes.
Yeah, exactly. There's always that. It's a lot of time. Like even if you can like do your little chunk every day, like it's still a lot of time. Like
yeah,
all
that's
in
why I
all.
like
it's-
Samir Pukan on Instagram.
Mm,
He just like house,
yeah, little tree.
and then
Little
a
house.
bit of Copic,
Yeah.
a little rock and a tree.
Yeah,
And
that was
then,
all
like,
of this last
dude,
year.
All of them. So fucking good.
Yeah.
That is like where you should set the bar.
Yeah.
Like keep it simple, slightly different every day, and then when you see them all of them together, you're like, wow, that is actually, they look pretty cool. They're
Yeah.
super simplistic.
So clean, so
Yeah,
nice.
such a nice, and like simple is hard.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I-
Like I told you with the
Yeah.
Saturday's tattoo.
Mhm.
Like it's supposed to be the most simple fucking thing. Took me forever to do. Like, yeah. So a lot of respect for Mr. Pukan. But yeah, simple is difficult.
No, it is super difficult, and it's also hard to get satisfied with. Like for me, that I like a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and then I just like I have a rock and a tree, you know, and then trying to make that look good, and Samir does that. So
Yeah.
it's a good like bar to set, especially when you don't have time.
Yes.
And with that said, it is time to dive into the future, but the past, because we're a week late, you know, when we talk everything.
Oh yeah,
we talk
yeah,
about.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's so weird.
Future past.
Future past. Yeah, moving on. Retro. What?
I like how we synced up there. Very good. Very good.
Very
So,
good. So,
we're
yes.
going to save Shang-Chi for the end so we can
Yes.
spoil talk about it.
Good. And, yeah, before, the only thing that I've seen out of in retro style is I introduced Stana to Guillermo del Toro. So actually, we did not see Pan's Labyrinth. We started with The Orphanage or El Orfanato.
Oh, El Farnato.
Orfanato. Yeah, The Orphanage, and then we saw The Shape of Water. So
Saw that with Maria last year.
yeah, it's like every movie that he does that he's gotten to do by himself. I guess it's so like fairy tale like, even if it is a horror movie or whatever.
Yeah, whatever he
whatever you
chooses
want to call Shape of Water. But yeah, it's all artwork, and you can definitely just tell it's his movie. And I love them. Like I haven't seen The Orphanage in forever. So that was a fresh take on something that I have seen, but I'd forgotten everything. So even the sort of the big surprise towards the end was a surprise still. And yeah, they both worked for Sana, I think. And like, yeah, definitely recommend any Guillermo del Toro movie if you haven't seen these two. Check them out. The Orphanage I have on DVD, and Shape of Water should be on streaming services.
Dude, every time I hear Guillermo, though,
Guillermo.
yeah, I'm thinking
yeah.
of What We Do in the Shadows.
Guillermo.
That's all I hear.
That's so
I
wrong.
just can't unhear it.
Man, they should have cast him.
Oh, dude. I'm so looking forward to season 4.
Oh my god.
Like, it's coming soon.
Yeah, I still haven't dove into the actual show. I just know these things.
Dude, you need to.
Yeah.
It is so dumb that it's like, is this funny? But it's that like New Zealand vibe to it.
Yeah,
you know, like you're
like awkward, so it's funny.
but so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Like,
Yeah,
it's so just so good. It's just so good. Guillermo. Oh man.
but yeah. But apart from that, I haven't seen shit.
I saw Rush Hour
You
with my
saw
kids.
Rush Hour?
Yeah. My daughter loved it, or she enjoyed it. I don't know if she loved it. That's
Yeah, stretching it.
It's stretching it. Yeah, but I loved it. No, I do get it. It's slow paced. It's not as like
Yeah, but
like,
that's
it's one of those like
we've been screwed over by the pace of the new era
everything-
type movie.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
so fast right now, and yeah, it is a slow movie. It's
Yeah.
a very slow movie. I was like, but the second one, that's where the magic is. It's like-
Is it really?
No, I don't
No.
think it is.
I think the third
it's
one.
equally
yeah,
slow.
it's the
Yeah.
third one for sure.
Put the blade down and let the bird go. Like it's just like I hear it all, man. I hear
Yeah.
it all in my head because that's why it's funny for me. Like I know this movie like word for
But
word.
also knowing the backstory of that thing
Yeah.
as well. Like we know so much of this. Yeah.
But it's still a fun movie for grown-ups. There are some jokes there that are not funny at all, and I was like, ugh, like
really?
yeah, I was just like, it's not that it's just not funny.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
So it's not like
no,
super
no.
inappropriate.
No,
or
I
anything.
didn't pick up on it, but there might be some of those as well.
Because
Now that you mention
Ratner.
it, yeah, Ratner, yeah, Creepner, but no, like it has its moments and like its hits and its misses, like, but it is fun. It is fun.
it's
You notice?
old.
Yes, that is the thing. It's 97. It came out like
Holy
close to the
shit.
Matrix as well.
Wow.
Like, yeah, somewhere around there.
I thought it was after the Matrix.
No, it's around there as
Oh,
well.
jeez.
And it is. Jackie Chan looks super young for, not being that young, but still kind of. He's probably the same age as us or something like that. I don't know.
No, he has to be
Dude,
older.
that was. Dude, it's 23 years ago.
Holy shit.
So he probably was the same age as us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Speaking of the Matrix.
yes. Okay, let's dive into the Matrix.
Yeah,
let's do that.
just a quick, because we were supposed to
Oh, yeah, I totally
rewatch the
forgot
trailer
that.
again.
But I remember it enough to.
Same.
Yeah. The thing is, the Matrix, like when I think back
Resurrections.
to it, like, did they ever end up doing anything in 3 movies? Like, you know what I mean? They fought the robots and machines. They did the
I
things.
mean, they saved mankind.
Did they though?
Yeah. Like he sacrificed himself in the end.
What
to-
happened in the end? Remind me, because I haven't seen The Matrix 3 in ages. How did it end? Do
He
you
kind
remember?
of gets turned into this angelic shape form thing.
Did he?
And, yeah, because he gets
What?
blinded, and then he can control the robots, so he can feel the robots in the real world. Remember that? Because that happens towards the end of the first movie, even.
Fuck. Yeah, I remember in the
And then he can,
in the
like,
first
shoot-
movie, it's good.
He can. I think he can shoot the. What's it called? The AMP, like from him, like his actual person.
Oh,
or something
shit,
like
not in
it-
the Matrix, but outside of the Matrix.
like in the real world. So he can stop robots. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like it became so stupid towards the end. So I don't remember the last movie that much, but I do remember him like exploding Agent Smith.
Yes.
And talking to Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. And then talking to this big floating robot head made of small robots. And
Will Ferrell.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
actually, no, that's the parody.
And that's where he sort of sacrifices himself. And then it just becomes too biblical. Like it's all very like crucifixes.
It becomes the
everywhere.
Lost.
Kind of.
It was all purgatory. Goodbye.
Yeah, I guess, more or less. And he finds out that I think he's the 6th incarnation of the one, like there's been more of the ones.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the gist of the whole.
You are the 6th. Don't you mean the one? No, the 6th.
6th. And maybe now then the 7th.
The 7th.
But yeah, so this one, like, is it necessary?
No.
No.
I don't mind them trying to do a reboot and telling a proper story.
Yeah.
Because the first movie, like, Morpheus paints us a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's epic. Like,
Yeah.
sure, maybe it hasn't aged well. I don't know. I haven't seen that scene anymore.
It's just slow, but it
slow.
it looks
but
good.
I'm
It
just
looks
saying
good.
that, like, you wanted to hear what Morpheus had to say. There was
Yeah.
weight to Lawrence Fishburne's delivery. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then you had 2 more movies that just explained shit. You know what I mean?
But did they? Like,
did they really? Yeah.
that's the thing. Like,
I feel like they did at some point where they get to like the third movie, I think, is the one where they like, oh, let us explain. And you're like, no. How about no?
how about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they do a parody on. Like, I haven't seen The Matrix in a very long time. Like, I think the last time I saw The Matrix was at the cinema. The third one that I saw twice. Once by myself, disappointed, and then once where Nico was like, I haven't seen it. I'll pay for your ticket so you can be disappointed twice in the same day.
Fantastic.
So I saw it, and that is the last time I saw it. Whenever the last one came out, that
I
was
think
the
that's
last time.
at the cinema is probably the only time I've seen it as like from start to finish. I know I've started watching it multiple times.
I think I've seen it on
and then
TV and shit, but
maybe gone back to see like the Smith fight when they're like Superman and just flying around. Like it's so stupid. But they do some cool
when he
things in there.
fights them with the stick and shit on the yard.
The second one, yeah.
It hurts.
Rubber Neo. Yeah. What the fuck?
Mhm.
Like they could have done that
So much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they feel the urge to show everything.
Exactly.
If you know it's gonna look crap, why not hide it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so when he does the super punch or something, like when he punches them away, why not hide it?
Exactly.
Like,
because
why
they
not-
had fuck you money for that.
Yeah,
And
but did
CG.
they? Hey, did it look like fuck you CG though? No, it didn't. It
No.
just looked fucked up CG.
It never looks like fuck you CG, you know?
Yeah, CGI just doesn't look like that if you get to see it just up close and, like without like masking it.
Yeah, and
or hiding
that's
it.
the thing. That's why limitations are the best
The
thing when it
best,
comes
yeah.
to CG stuff.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the first Jurassic Park, when they're like,
So good.
what, we can do it with CG? Like, they invented CG. That was the first movie where they actually had, like, proper CG stuff. But they'd already began to build all the
Oh,
things.
dude, there are so many practical
So they just
things,
use
yeah.
the practical stuff, and then whenever they can fit
Emphasize,
in,
yeah.
like, oh, we need the T-Rex to run here. We can do that in CG. It took them forever, but they did it.
Yeah,
But and it
CG.
fucking works,
Yeah.
like small increments, but
It
then
works perfect,
as
yeah.
much practical as you can to sell the realness of it.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's why I think Marvel movies, like for example, like at some point they start breaking when they go to epic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the end of like Black Widow, for example, at the very end,
yeah,
when it's just like, okay, I'm just watching like a green screen now. Right
Yeah.
now, that's all I'm watching.
I'm
Like,
having either an
having- yeah.
epileptic seizure
Yeah.
or I'm watching the end
Yeah.
of a Marvel movie.
yeah. Instead, and yeah, we're gonna get into that as well.
And
later,
that's what I
for sure.
feel like this trailer was for Matrix, the
Okay, yeah.
Resurrections. Like, it just feels like the whole movie is just gonna be that, like
yeah.
overly CG things.
Thing is, yeah, I wasn't excited about this because I don't know what story there is left to tell. The direction it's going at was that they thought they succeeded
Mm,
and they didn't. So
yeah,
they're still trapped in the Matrix somehow.
yeah, or
like, it
they were
is-
reinserted, or
yeah,
something.
something like that. But I think in this movie that it won't be, because in the Matrix trilogy they built this world.
Mm,
Here, I think it's going to be more contained. I think the story is going to be smaller.
because they're
Like-
in San Francisco.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Or and I think it's going to revolve more like I think the story is going to be more contained. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like, you remember when the trailer for these movies came out, like Matrix 1, Matrix 2, the highway scene and all
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like epic stuff. I feel that this one will go more the like I feel that it's going to be smaller in the way that they like. It's not going to be this massive place with all. I feel like it's going to be contained somehow. I don't know. Like it's going to be revolved more around Neo and and Trinity.
Yeah.
Sort of like, whoa, I remember you.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe something around that, and not about the whole human race. And
But
like the scope of that is so big. How do you fit that in a movie?
the new black dude in this one has already confirmed that he is playing
Morpheus.
Schmorphus.
Schmorphus.
Schmorphus. I don't remember his name. What is it? Jaja, Jojo,
Jar Jar.
something.
I'm just
But
like-
he's a great actor.
Oh
like,
no, dude, he
and
probably is.
And he is in the new Candyman movie as well.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I like him. I kind of like that trailer for the new Candyman movie. I was like,
I've
maybe
heard
I
it's not
should-
that good,
It probably
but
sucks. Yeah, but I liked the approach to
yeah,
that old IP.
yeah. And I haven't seen that in forever, so I would like to see the new one
Haven't.
and then go back and
Yeah.
see the old one. But yeah, so like, it's not a prequel. Like, I don't think it's a prequel, but I think like maybe it's a reskin, or like, I don't know. But that fucks up the whole thing with him being a younger version of Morpheus.
Mm-hmm.
When they're older and he's not.
And he's not.
Like,
But
how
I'm
would
thinking-
that work?
It's if
And do you think this is going to be a new trilogy, or is it just a one-off? Like,
I'm
are they
just
just
like-
really desperate for money so they can make something else that they want
I
to
don't
do?
think they're desperate for money because like they keep.
And it's only one of the Wachowski sisters now.
Yes, that's what I reacted on when it just like
Was it Lisa?
I don't
know.
remember. I don't know.
And I don't
any of
know
the
who
names.
was who.
Dude, I
They were
barely
always
knew-
known as the
dude,
Wachowskis.
Exactly.
Andy and
Brothers,
Larry,
now they're sisters.
yeah.
I never knew their first names.
No.
That's the thing for me. Like I was
It's
like,
so weird.
they were brothers, now they're sisters.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But
Like
yeah.
it's fine. The Wachowski sisters, and I don't know where they're going with this.
No.
And it doesn't feel like I would just want to see them like figure out the story and then tell us that.
Yeah.
Because I feel that the Matrix trilogy was like, we made this awesome movie. We had this cool sort of like world that we built up, but we have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And then the second movie comes out and it's just, it has a bunch of cool scenes,
Yeah.
but that's it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You're like, what the fuck? And then the third one comes out and
nobody
it's like, we
remembers
can
it.
just shoot everything.
Yeah.
And then explain, like I think the last hour is just explanation. I don't remember. Like I need to
Yeah.
go back in, but I think there's someone talking.
They had that kung fu dude in there too.
That was the second one. Yeah,
He was supposed to be,
I love that guy.
I think they wanted Jet Li for it. But
Yeah.
he-
But Jet, I heard somewhere that Jet Li, they wanted to scan him in 3D and shit, and he was like, "Fuck that shit!" Like they're gonna be able to use my moves and stuff. Like and crazy.
of course.
But it would have been cool. But I kind of liked that guy. I
Yeah,
don't
me
remember
too.
if he was good,
Yeah.
but he was the only one that felt like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because
It's like,
they
I know
didn't
Kung
have-
Fu because I know Kung Fu.
They didn't have Morpheus fight
Yeah.
that much in it, and when they did, he was on that truck, and then he had to use advanced wire work. So, like,
Yeah.
even if he could sell the punches in the first one, I think, because he's
I
doing
need to go
the
back.
Jurassic Park thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's only doing small things, but they feel kind of heavy and they land well, whereas Keanu Reeves is this little feather just flipping around all over, and it just looks shitty. But Lawrence Fishburne could sell, you
Yeah.
know. And then they did the second one. Is just like, oh, now he's doing the Keanu Reeves thing, like it just didn't work.
Oh
so,
man,
but
I
they had
love
they
Keanu,
had swords
dude, I
on
love
a truck.
Keanu
I mean,
Reeves, but I don't know why people think his fighting is good.
What have people said that his fighting is good?
Yes.
Who said
Like
that?
when I see John Wick.
Oh, John Wick. Well, I wouldn't call
No.
that fighting.
No,
He's shooting.
I know, but even that doesn't look cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can sell it sometimes, but you can see him
Sometimes,
struggling
but
as well. But
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't like.
but
I've grown up with action movies,
Yeah.
and there are people that can run with a gun. Realistically or not, it looks cool.
Yeah,
Whereas when Keanu does it,
it looks forced, I guess.
it doesn't look cool. Like there is something missing there. And I know that like, oh, he's doing it perfect if you think about what it's supposed to be tactical. You know, like, oh yeah, they've really worked with someone that
I mean, you
knows.
can't say that he's not doing a good job.
No,
because
he's not.
Definitely
He's doing a
He's
good
doing
job,
his
but-
utmost, I
but-
guess.
You know,
But
like
he's
when you
limited,
and me,
yeah.
let's say we're doing on-screen fighting, and then you watch Scott Adkins,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Chan, whoever the fuck you're looking at, they're doing the cool fighting. It looks good even when it sucks.
Yeah,
We just suck.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. We're
It's like-
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, we are Keanu Reeves in this instance,
Yeah.
where we understand how to throw a kick, we understand how to do the moves, but just doesn't look cool.
Yeah,
Like even if we film it at a cool angle, it just doesn't look cool. And then you have Jackie Chan do the same thing, and it looks awesome.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like watching like two people grow up doing the same martial art, where someone does it really well and someone just does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is like something
There's a
missing.
gap.
There's
Yeah.
something there that's missing. The one guy that just doesn't have it.
exactly.
And that's what I'm talking about.
And I
It's
think
like-
they, like, going back to the Matrix Resurrections, I think they've done the smart thing here, where he only does like big, powerful, more Matrixy magic things, and then they're leaving the fighting to the younger.
Dude, as long
better
as they
people.
make it better than the Dark Tower, we're good.
We
Unless he
can't
does
keep
it-
bringing that up.
I can, because he does the. I saw the McConaughey, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like the pulse push.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture, like a freeze frame of Keanu Reeves standing with his hands like this, and I was like, they better not have. Dude,
My stomach was agreeing with you.
dude, like, say what you will about McConaughey, but he is a good actor.
Yeah.
And he is pretty good in most things. Even if the movies like aren't great, he's usually like, I still like him. You know what I mean? Like
Never
I
seen
still-
him in an action role, really.
But
He's
in
always-
this movie, though,
Yeah.
like in The Dark Tower, like I hated him. Like
Let it go, bro.
no,
Let it go.
listen to this one. I hated him as much as I hated Pierce Brosnan in Mrs. Doubtfire. That when he came out as James Bond, like years later, I still hated him.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's how much I hated McConaughey's role in The
Yeah,
Dark
he
Tower.
ruined all of his future roles after that.
But then you watch like an interview and something, you're like, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, he seems like such
Yeah.
a nice man.
Such a nice man.
Yeah.
But it's the same with Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
You just see him in anything else, you're like, he's good, but
But that,
why
yeah,
were you?
that is definitely Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Like, he's not really a good actor. Like,
dude,
say one movie that he's like acting really well in,
I don't.
Bill and
remember any
Ted.
cute- oh, okay, fuck that.
maybe.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, but yeah, like he
Uh,
is very limited in his acting abilities, I would say. Like,
No,
he's
Speed. Come on, he's awesome in Speed.
he's done
I don't
great work,
yeah,
and I love the dude.
yeah.
But I would never go as far as to say that he is a great actor.
He's no Brad Pitt,
He's no Brad Pitt, because Brad Pitt can do anything,
dude. Brad
and
Pitt
he just
can
fucking
usually do
sells it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that new coffee commercial?
the Mexican. No, just kidding.
Buenos nachos.
Buenos nachos here.
No, he's done this new sort of coffee maker commercial. Like
no.
almost kind of feels like
The
spoofing off of
George
the Clooney,
one, yeah.
but this is something else. But like, he's so charismatic in that fucking
Oh, but
thing.
dude, he's done this for so many years. And
He's
just
such
look at
a
the characters
beautiful
he's
man,
played,
and
yeah.
I just want to hang out with him. You know,
Yeah,
he seems
no.
like such a cool dude. Yeah, he's probably an asshole, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, Matrix Resurrection.
Not excited.
Not excited,
Not excited at all.
Um,
But it's Keanu Reeves, so
yeah,
you're just
I
gonna
mean-
throw some money at it, you know.
for sure. Like,
Like I've
how
seen.
can we be upset that we're getting a new Matrix?
Yeah.
Like,
But
Let's-
the thing is, like all the movies, like I'm just hoping, even with DC movies, I hope that they're good. Like,
yeah,
Bottom line,
one
I
of these days,
hope-
man,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, but I'm more willing to pay for the Matrix than anything that DC throws at us.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
moving forward.
They still have a
So-
lot to prove. Matrix at least has Matrix 1. So, yeah.
Yes. But I still haven't seen that in years, so
Yeah.
might watch it because of the, like, if I remember correctly, though, I really liked how they presented all the different set pieces, you know, like it
Yeah.
was really nice.
It's a good looking movie, and it has this beautiful style to it, but it's lacking definitely
But
in a
dude,
lot of
but
areas.
when I
But it
think-
was a big experimental thing, I
Dude,
guess.
it was a good experiment, though. Like, but the only
It
thing
paid
that
off.
I just don't vibe with right now is the long trench coats with the sunglasses. Now, today,
Yeah,
I thought it was awesome back then, but now I'm just like, dude, like, no.
we're past that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? Like, is that Windows? Like, beep, boop, beep. what version of Windows is that?
They should
Matrix
come in with
based off of?
hipster glasses and cardigans. You know?
Oh, that would be so good, Mr. Anderson.
Yes. Or should I say Neo? No, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
No, we're not that close. It's
We're-
Mr. Anderson.
We're
dude.
past that.
No, but fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Still,
Will Smith, I mean.
Like, yeah. Not excited, but still gonna see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Will Smith, for sure.
Basically, Big Willie style.
All right. Before we go into Shang-Chi, let's do a
What
little
if?
Marvel what if, just to warm up. This was awesome.
Yes, it was.
It was so much fun.
Dude, I watched it this morning. I was very unexcited about like getting into it again. I don't know why. Like it feels like it's cool, but I just like I don't have the incentive.
But it's this
then
constant meh. Like, it's always been this
exactly. It's a bit.
it's
of,
not bad, but it's not really
bad,
good.
But it's not really good.
Yeah.
Then I watched the ending last night of the other one.
Oh,
and I
oh,
was
so you
like,
did see
yes,
that.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very dark, very nice. And then I just like I fell asleep, and then this morning I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk to the station. I'll just like I'll put it on while I'm making coffee. Like have that. Started watching it, and then like. What? Like it started off really like interesting
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't read the thing. I just pressed and like next, you know.
I
and
only
then-
saw the zombies.
Yeah,
and I was like,
just
oh, it's
saw-
finally
yeah,
here because
uh,
I've seen the teaser trailer
Okay,
for
you've seen
everything.
teaser trailers. Okay,
Like
yeah,
when
I
they
haven't.
like back in the day when
Yeah.
they released it, and I was like, we're gonna get zombies.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really liked. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
But
It's called
I-
zombies. So
yeah. It's hard to not see the episode and not know what
Exactly.
it's about, unless you do like me, just goes to the next one.
and you've had a week.
Yeah,
Come on, people.
we're slow.
Yes,
You can't be that slow,
extremely slow.
both mentally and podcastically.
The opposite of Jackie Chan. or Jet Li, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because in a
Jet
lot of movies, they're real fast.
So yeah,
Yeah,
what
so,
if? What if?
But no. It was surprisingly good to the point where it kind of just made me more excited about this.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was a fun take with take no prisoners, basically.
Yeah.
It just fucking
no one safe.
no one's safe. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. They even chopped the head off Wong.
Shit.
that was-
that was my
that was-
favorite part.
that was
I
brutal.
Like, yes.
And it's so great that he calls back to what he did in Endgame or Infinity War.
Mhm.
He chops the arm off that
yeah,
dude.
off the dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
perfect.
I really, really liked how it started. And I think what I like about this episode is that they put it in a context that is recognizable like that.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you've seen, Infinity War,
It's perfect.
it's
Yeah,
perfect.
It's
like it's
right
right,
there.
there.
Yeah.
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 It's such a like scene by scene, basically. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
And then I love how you get this alternate thing instead of like producing like the Doctor Strange one is also what happens,
Mhm.
but I didn't feel the same that I felt here. Here I felt like excitement that we're getting to see like a different version of something that I actually enjoyed. You
Yeah.
know, like
And I
didn't-
love that they all have their powers still.
Yeah,
that
dude,
they
that
can-
was
they're
the
like-
best.
They're not like zombies,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're
As soon as they started hiding
kick-ass
them, you were
yeah.
like,
oh
uh-oh.
shit. Yeah.
It's
So
just-
great. Yeah, yeah. What else can we say about this episode other than it was, I think,
It was a lot of fun.
yeah,
Like, it
one
was
of the
a
more
lot.
fun ones they've done, and I really hope they do another zombie one.
But what I liked about, they of course did that 2 episodes ago. Like they kill off a lot of characters,
Mhm.
but I like that no one was like
Yeah,
safe
and
here.
Scarlet Witch. Ooh, that was such a great mix, like
yeah.
witch and
Dude,
zombie.
when
like,
when she came along, as soon as what's his face, Vision said, like he says something at some point, and I was like, oh shit,
yeah,
oh shit, you're not gonna find what you think or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and you're like,
uh-oh.
yeah, and then like,
And
it
then
was
they
so
find
good,
T'Challa again, voiced by
Yeah.
Boseman, which is
so
awesome.
good, yeah,
So horrible.
so horrible, but so good, all of it.
Yeah,
Oh man, yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun,
and
I
like
love-
all the puns with Ant-Man.
yeah,
like
yeah.
so great, and the voice like for not Tom Holland,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the Spider-Man dude,
Spider-Man.
like was spot on.
No, it was really good.
Most
Like,
of the
it was-
time,
yeah.
it just sounded like Tom
Oh,
Holland.
I don't know why they like. Is it time or something like that? They don't
Maybe-
have every voice actor.
Yeah, maybe he was like under contract with Sony for something else. It might
maybe,
be
yeah.
something like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I didn't see if. I don't think Paul Rudd did Ant-Man either. I think
No,
somebody
I don't
else
think
did
it's Paul
Ant-Man.
Rudd.
But that
they're
also
good enough,
worked.
Good enough, and like it really doesn't bother me. But yeah, I don't know. Like I really liked where this episode was headed, and I loved how the whole origin thing came about. And
She looks so badass. Like,
yeah,
Uh,
dude.
what was her name?
I-
Miss Van Dyne.
Yeah, I
something.
don't remember anymore.
The mom.
but the mom, yeah. And Pym was the dad, right?
Yeah.
Hank. That was it. Something on H. But I just love that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then it gets out of hand. But dude, like the zombie wasp, like
Yes.
just like
Brilliant.
it's such a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And how like the whole like they were like, oh, the zombie thing was fine until the Avengers got
Yeah,
hit. I was like,
exactly.
yeah! it was so good that not even they came away like scot-free, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like, everyone was affected.
Yeah, yeah,
But I just love that and how they got infected.
yeah.
It was so good when he was like, oh. I was like, yes. Like, immediately, there was no epic nothing.
No,
it was just like,
like-
oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
As soon as you see that, you know, like, they're all standing, like,
Yeah.
super heroic. And then, like, fuck, what is that? Oh, it was such a great fucking... And he was so cool when
Yeah.
they presented him, like,
Yes.
the next time. Like,
Mhm.
it's so good.
And then just split in half. Like, also so fantastic. I love that.
Dude,
Not
Bucky.
holding back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucky was so pretty, though. Like, they make everyone so, like, weirdly pretty.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
Like,
what the fuck is happening? Like, with
If
the
he
rose
came out
cheek
as
and
like
their-
a Barbie doll
dude,
type Ken
it
dude.
could have worked so well because they
Yeah.
get these like really blue eyes
Yeah.
and it's all like accentuated. Like it's all just too much.
Yeah, and I love that they did the Spider-Man sort of home video thing with it too.
Oh,
like,
dude,
where
that
he
was so
like,
good.
how
The
to
pre-
survive a zombie apocalypse.
yeah.
So like ties into zombie land.
Zombieland so much. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I love that. Like, and that's why I have long sleeves. And he's like, ah. Presses
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
ketchup. Like, so good.
Yeah, very like into the Spider-Verse
Yeah,
vibe.
very,
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's funny.
This one was fun. More of this, Marvel. More of this.
Yeah,
Just
I
have
think
fun
that
with it.
this one felt like, although the previous one was dark and people died in other ones as well, like this one felt, I don't know, like it was a lot of fun. It was very like without being brutal, it was brutal. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it had like enough gore to make it work. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
were scary enough. They were like, I don't know, like there were stakes. You
Yeah.
felt them.
Yeah.
It was nice. I really and how the train just like just like, you know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
and it wasn't like overly gory either. Like it was just like it just gives you enough to have stakes and excitement and all that stuff. Like it was very good. Like
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Again, like this, I think this one was a little bit more fun than the previous ones where they have been more sort of realistic in tone and not so much having fun with it. Maybe the one where...
Yeah, I think people had a lot of fun working on this one, like specifically because of the topic or like the...
Yeah, I think this one and when they kill off the entire Avengers team, I think
Yeah.
kind of both of them are similarly fun, where it's just like, let's just kill them.
But here I feel that they got even more room. You know what I mean? Like the previous ones had to be very like, okay, we got to
Yeah.
do this, and then we got, like here it felt like we have this fucking crazy amount of fucking zombies.
Go nuts.
Everyone's a zombie. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, oh, you mean everyone? Like, no.
Everyone.
Everyone's a zombie. It's such a fucking good thing.
Yeah.
And then you introduce, you know, like when you get halfway through, they introduce, you know, the Vision and everything. Like it's so
Yeah.
good. Like it
Yeah.
just
Yeah, just kept on giving, really.
No, it was fun. It was fun. I was so disappointed when it ended.
Yeah.
I was like, no, because I felt that it was going to be open ended,
Yeah.
and of course,
Well, it kind of was.
no. But they were like, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, because you know,
Yeah.
by the end scene
I mean,
there,
just having fucking Thanos, zombie
Yes.
Thanos standing
You
there
were
like a badass.
mhm.
He just looked so good.
Oh, dude. But
yeah,
that's what I
loved
liked
it.
was how they managed to make them cool zombies.
Yeah.
Like really cool zombies.
Yeah,
I
it
think
just
this,
worked.
Yeah, it just worked. Like I think one of my favorites was Captain America though, when the
Yeah.
light hits his face and the jaw is like slacked, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like. Because it wasn't as cool when when Iron Man came out. Like
No.
it was fine. It was cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know why Captain America worked. Yeah, so good.
Yes. Yes.
And then of course Bucky was like, "Sorry, old friend."
Yeah.
And then just
This is the end of the
yeah.
line. So
nah,
good.
it was puns.
Perfect.
Nah,
Yeah.
it was really, really fun. Like especially when it's zombies, because it's like there has been so much zombie shit
Yeah.
that you're like, do
It's-
we need
yeah.
more zombies?
But it's been equally enough of the superhero stuff.
Oh, dude,
so
same.
That's
yeah.
why this kind of works as a great mashup, because like we're just so oversaturated with these two sort of themes or categories.
I'm wondering what's going to be the next thing, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because we
me too.
can't
But
just
this-
we
uh,
can't just have superhero movies. Like,
No.
I'm not against superhero movies. Let that be a thing.
Well, they are bringing back the Matrix. So.
But I,
yeah, no, I don't know.
It would be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
remember when we used to have action movies that
Yeah.
didn't suck all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Like, sucked all the dicks?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Boss Level, I felt was one of those movies where, like, you could make some fun conceptual movies about, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
And it would be fun to have that genre back somehow. Because I feel like they've sort of, like, everyone makes the same movies over
Yeah.
and over.
I mean, it's been that way for so long now.
So
too.
long, yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, what would be the new thing?
That's the thing, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
Baby Driver was such a great example of a heist movie,
Yeah,
or
a
like
fun
that.
action movie that's not overly action either.
Exactly, it
But
was
when
just
it
smart.
is,
But it was
it's
so
just
smart.
great action. Yeah,
Yeah, and you like that was a movie you felt it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you feel that movie because they made it that way.
exactly. Yes.
And that's Edgar Wright, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Edgar.
Old Ed.
Old Ed, who also did Ant-Man, I think.
Oh yeah, that might actually be right.
Or he was supposed to. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
it.
all just the big mush, man.
Yeah. But speaking of Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
let's dive
Marvel.
into it. Let's do it. The big one. So we can go home.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Yeah, dude. All right. So what did you think? Because I already talked a little bit about it last week.
It is actually really, really good.
Ha-ha! Finally!
Like 80% of it is
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, kind of exactly
Like
what I
I'll
said.
I'll even buy into the whole sort of like again at the end sort of. Oh yeah, by the way, major
Spoiler.
spoilers. By the end of the movie, they get to the place, and you get to see all these magical creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the horse creatures, I think they can do them pretty well in CG.
Yeah.
Or CGI, that's what we should be saying.
Yep.
But the fox creatures, we're not there.
No.
We're not there. They are too much,
Yeah.
too computer graphic-y to
Yeah.
work. And even the lions fucking worked, though. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
was like,
surprised me.
why doesn't that bother me?
Exactly.
But the foxes, the white foxes,
Yeah. That
no
just-
mas, no mas. I was like, no. I was like zooming back, put them further back, like way back, like away from the movie.
But it was just, again, too much.
Yeah.
Like, they always, why do they have to just fucking masturbate in all of these fucking different CGI
Dude,
creatures?
I don't know.
Like, can't you just be happy that you have a great movie? Like, it's great up until that point.
Yeah.
And that's when you start losing me.
Oh yeah,
you
same
know.
here. As soon as I saw the white foxes, like I even bought the fucking weird
The ass faces.
ass faces. Yeah, exactly. Like when you get introduced to Ass Face
Yeah.
and his weird role. What's
Trevor
his face?
Slattery.
Yeah, but what is his real name?
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famous actor.
Exactly.
Famous actor from a lot of good movies.
He played Gandhi, for fuck's sake.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And his name is Kingsley something. Come on, Robert.
Duh.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, motherfucker. That's
Good.
good.
Yeah, it was so great that they pulled him back in too.
It's such a weird role, though. Like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, he's awesome, though. And
he works. Yeah.
he works, yeah. Like, that's not going to be the biggest problem in this movie.
No,
if that's-
definitely
If you
not.
don't like the character.
No.
It is the CGI at the very, very, very end. And when you think it can't get, like, when you said, like, oh, by the end it gets a bit crazy, like, you're not going to like all the CGI.
When I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
this.
but I saw the foxes, I was like, I'm out. But
Oh yeah.
then, like, there was a dragon.
There's more.
Yeah, at first those, like, fucking monsters came out. I was like, oh, well, they're small enough, I guess. But then the fucking dragon comes out of the water. I'm like, oh, my God. But then
Exactly.
they release Venom with wings, and I called him Sluff's face. I don't know. Like, he just seemed like,
Yeah.
too many things, too much, wrong movie.
Yeah.
so he flies out this Dormammu-looking motherfucker, I don't know, like monster. And now there's a fucking bat lizard venom motherfucker and a dragon too close to the audience to look anything but
And
awful.
It's the Transformers Michael Bay thing.
Yes. And when you think it can't get any worse, the way to kill the bad guy is to add water. And it's not, like, like you have a cup of water. No. You have a fucking tornado CGI fiesta where he's running and things are happening and it all looks super CGI to the point where it gets so epic that we don't even have the graphics or the visual library to make that work.
I had zoned out so much
Dude,
by this point.
so much that I didn't care. And it was weird lassos and shit. And like she had a yo-yo at some point, I think. I don't even know anymore. Like he was reading Playboy. I don't know what was happening. It was all garbage. Like it's just like you had everything up to this point. Why does this part of the movie exist? Like sure, it's in the comic book, but you've changed like a million other things. Why don't you change this shit? Do something.
That's not really in the comic book either. Like they kind of made up these, because they needed CGI characters.
No, they didn't.
It's horrible.
It's garbage.
But okay, so that part obviously we both really did not like. Let's talk about what we did like in this movie.
Everything else.
Right?
Everything else. The actor is awesome.
Yeah, so charismatic. You really feel for the guy.
You know what the cool thing about this one is?
He can punch.
No, but that is also very good.
Yes.
It's not.
He's got the.
I know kung fu.
I
don't know if this guy knows
didn't have to say
any
it.
martial arts at all,
He does.
but he's awesome.
Yes, he sells it.
Yeah, he really does sells it, and sells
Alka-Sells
the
it.
word Alka-Sells it. but also the stunt team behind this is really good.
Yeah.
And
The
I
bus
follow,
scene,
and I follow a couple of them on social media, and they're really good.
Of course you do.
But it feels a bit like a B movie when it starts.
Yeah.
Because when the friend and what was her name?
Well, her name is Aquafina in the real world, and she's Kate. No,
I don't.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember his name. Oh well, yeah, I do. I guess I do. But I'm just like when they started talking, I was like, do they know acting? And then like it just felt like a B movie. It's like in the beginning, I was like, this is the like. Just like what the fuck? But then it kind of like it feels like they're like learning or like something like along the way becomes like genuine.
they get into it.
They get really into it, and it becomes more believable. Like that they're real people, which I kind of like this. I kind of like their vibe, and I love her as a side character. Like
she wasn't too overly comedic or anything. Like, but she
kind of was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But
like,
in the perfect way. Like they really found the right balance.
No, but she could have been so annoying. She could have been like the Jar Jar.
Oh yeah.
Of this, like, but they just
screaming all the time.
Yeah. I am La. You know the Ong Bak problem.
Yeah, but here it's just like
it's perfect. Yeah, she's really she knows her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
Like her performance was like I think it made his performance even better in that sense.
Yeah, they
like,
worked so well together.
Yeah. It felt genuine.
Yeah.
And the fights were so good.
Yeah.
Like the bus fight, I was like, yeah. The building fight, like like sure, like when they were fighting even on the
scaffolding,
on the side of the building, like even that could have been like really bad if you're not Jackie Chan.
But it works.
It worked even at that point. Like, I think
that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I think it all breaks down when other people are fighting.
Yeah,
like when, for example, everything that happens in the village fighting.
Exactly. But like I cut that whole part out of it,
like,
more or less.
When
the only thing I
fights,
liked,
it's fine.
Yeah, but the only thing I kind of liked from that was the flashbacks with Michelle Yeoh, like because whenever she's in there, she's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but she's awesome.
And it was so great seeing her in a proper Hollywood movie.
But they still like they underutilize her
Yeah, I
every
know.
time.
I
Like she
know.
gets to do nothing cool. Where I'm like, yes, this is like she is so good, and they do nothing with her.
It's just
liking
that,
that.
sort of teaching thing.
Yeah. No,
But
but,
it
that is
just looks
like,
so good.
It is
Like,
so good. Like
that's how, like
even
she
the
just
way
needs-
she just does her hands
Exactly.
and her fingers.
it's
You're
like,
like
the
if
smallest little detail, but it's
so good. Yeah. No,
perfect.
no, she knows what looks good,
But,
and she
like,
and
I
that's what
felt-
I mean. Like Keanu Reeves doesn't know that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like even when he's practiced a million times.
that little finger thing.
Yeah,
it's
that
not
little
there.
finger
Yeah.
thing, that little Michelle Yeoh thing is so good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I love that lady. She's awesome.
Yeah, fucking legend.
And she's a fucking, like, she started off, like, she came in to the martial arts thing through dancing.
Yeah.
Like Zhang Zi and
Yeah,
the rest
yeah.
of them. But they look like they've been fighting all their lives. You know what I mean? So good.
Yeah,
They really understand those, like, small little details in their movements that make it look powerful.
yeah. But that's because they were beaten. Probably.
Okay.
To learn it, I mean.
Yeah, I do get it. Jackie Chan talked about it as
Yeah,
well. Like, wasn't
like,
great.
It's,
But they became fucking
We all know.
legends.
We all
Yeah.
know.
But
she's in Hollywood now. She's safe.
yeah, she's but it is just like she's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think like most of the fights, even the beginning fight where they're telling the story about the dad, like it starts out a bit CGI-y, you know,
Yeah.
with the fighting and the ten ring things.
Yeah, it still works.
But it's still like you
and
don't care.
he is so great as a bad guy. Like,
Oh, he is. He is very
I
much.
loved him.
But you notice when the stuntman is fighting and when
Yeah.
he's fighting,
Yeah.
like that little thing. But
mean,
it's like I said,
I see
you
past
don't
it.
care. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't. You see past it and
because
I,
the
and I-
story is so good, and like I love that too, like the whole father-son dynamic
sure.
of and
And I love that they make it more complex, like
Yeah.
as a bad guy as well. Like the
Exactly.
dad isn't just a mobster, and there is feelings and conviction, and
Yeah.
like. So I like it, but then again at the end, like it goes a bit crazy with that.
yeah,
In a way that feels very like eighth season of
Supernatural.
No, the dragon. What's that show called?
Game of Thrones. Oh yeah,
It goes a bit eighth season by the end, but
yeah, that's true.
I really like him as well. Like I really like the fairy tale esque sort of like how he meets the mother and stuff. What I don't like about that scene is how Disney it feels.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels more Mulan
Yeah,
than
it
it
does.
feels Zhang Yimou or whatever his name was.
yeah, yeah.
Which they should have just pulled back a bit on the colors, taking away the fucking Disney palace from the back. You know, like
Yeah,
I feel that they should just stick to what those movies are and not try to incorporate their fucking brand into it, like in that sense. Like
Yeah.
we all know where it's coming from. We don't like it's like, oh, this is America. Yes, we all know.
Yeah, we
like,
know.
Yeah, like Spider-Man.
I don't
in
need
that-
to see the fucking flag every 5 seconds.
That's what I mean, like the end of Spider-Man with
Yeah.
Garfield.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're like, yeah, America,
yeah.
America cranes. We love heavy machinery. You're like, what
We
the
stick
fuck?
together.
Yeah, like and like, yeah, you
Yeah.
could have done all that, make it believable by not doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it would have come across as America because
We know
New
you're-
York
yeah,
is
kind of.
in America.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. Like,
But yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But again,
Overall,
though, like
Great
it's a
movie.
great
And I love
I
the-
love the mother.
the mother-
fucking kicks ass.
yes,
Like
so good.
her stuff is so good.
Yeah,
Compared to his stuff, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like not that she wins in the script,
no,
but her moves again, like
but she like properly owns him.
Yeah.
like just dodging those rings like nothing.
Yeah,
and, it's
and they've
beautiful.
It's
Yeah,
like she just takes choreography great, and
Yeah.
whoever stunts her, if they have that, awesome.
so good. And I loved him as the kid getting beat up and like that whole training thing, because that just brings back so much from what we've been growing up watching, and
Yeah.
like how we kind of wish that we were trained.
Trained like that. Yeah, dude, so much. I actually talked
Why,
to my
Dad?
dude. I talked to my son because I was like, remember when you went to like gymnastics class and you got sad and you didn't want to show any of your stuff and you kind of like pulled back. He was like, yeah. And I was like, but now you're doing taekwondo and the trainer is basically yelling at you all. And he's like, don't do that. Stand over there, blah, blah, blah. I've told you 1,000 times not to do that, and you go there. And I was like, why do you like that? And I was like, does it feel like you're in one of those movies, you know, where the master is teaching you? And he was like, yeah. He just looked at me like quiet for a bit, and he was like, yeah.
Sneaky fun.
Yeah. It was
we get it.
so good. I was like,
I know,
yeah,
son.
I know. So
Another
there is
one.
yeah. And then I actually met his gymnastics teacher like just after that conversation when I dropped him off to school.
Smack.
But yeah, you son of a bitch. Should have screened more at my kid. No, but it's so fun to see that whatever we experienced as kid and sort of dreamt of, like, oh, I would wish they would take me up to this mountain and train me, sort of that. He feels that as well when he's being, like, it's motivating in a way where he's like, oh, we need to listen to the master and train hard, you know, like that thing. Like, I need to, like, prove my skill. Like, it's so
okay
cool.
if it hurts.
Yeah,
Like,
no, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when I looked in last time, the trainer, like, he's not mean or anything, but he's like very like, this, you know, and and they respond so well to it. And I just saw like how happy he was. That's why I asked him this. I was like, because I looked in and he was like, just like running, you know, and just like doing all the exercises and shit. And he just looked so happy. I was like,
You remember
kid.
those times?
Yeah, I remember those times. And it's so cool to see. So that's
Yeah.
why I asked him. I was like, why do you like that? And it's like,
Awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
romanticization of, you know, kung fu movies that kind of brings you there.
But that, again, like, I think he will probably love Shang-Chi.
Oh, dude, that's why
Like-
I need to take him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think my
He-
wife is into the Marvel movies, but
But she's
will.
into like the martial arts action movies too.
yeah,
right?
yeah, I think she will enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good. It doesn't have that much supernatural in the sense
Like,
Like-
apart from the end.
at the end
But I
and
mean, the
dad,
rings,
but it's
the-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I feel that they keep a lot of that away.
Mm.
And dude, if we could get some of like those type of action movies back, where we just skip all the CGI superpower bullshit.
Just depend on actual actors doing good acting stuff
acting stuff
and
then-
stunts
yeah.
and practical
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. And
How
if
many
you
times
want-
have we talked about
And
this?
the thing is, I don't really mind superpowers.
No,
but
if you do them well,
Pull them back a bit. You know what I mean?
it doesn't have
it'll
to be
better.
a Kamehameha
But dude,
explosion
that's why,
thing.
That's why I love Deadpool.
Yeah,
His superpower is nothing except healing.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
So he can just go through a hail of gunfire and then come out, make a joke, chop some heads off.
Exactly. He can be shot in the ass, and it'll be believable because you
He's-
won't
yeah.
see it in that way. That,
And he'll complain about it.
yeah.
Like,
No,
it just makes
and,
it perfect.
And that's the beauty of Deadpool, I think. When the car is flipping through the air, it's so up close
Mm-hmm.
that you can't reflect if it's real or not. You
Exactly.
can, but you know, like
Yeah.
the focus is on like a lip balm.
You can.
like a
It's
playing
already
card.
been. It's already a little bit
Getting
dated.
Yeah, I saw it the last
yeah.
time I saw it.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what they pulled off. You know what I mean? And it's usually it's either too fast
Mm.
or too slow. Like they have this great balance in Deadpool, although it's like such a smaller studio that pulls this off.
Yeah.
And I think just that is such a smart way of doing it.
Yeah.
That's how superhero movies should be done.
Yeah. And that's why I'm worried for Deadpool 3. Like, I think that's gonna be the.
Where they go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also for them to prove that they're gonna leave
Part
that
of-
as is, or if they're gonna take it over. Like that. I think
Yeah.
that's where.
Yeah, it might
they're-
go free guy. You know where
yeah,
it goes.
exactly. And that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
Like,
same here. Same here.
like
Like,
we-
there is like the plastic like Disney glove is so far up
mm.
the ass of a lot of these productions that
Because in Deadpool 2, you still have the big CG epic thing at the end with.
yeah, but the best thing is that he just says it as well.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, here's the CGI
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
CGI fight. Like
Yeah. But they still have it, you
Yeah,
know.
they still
so
have it.
and they're gonna up it for the next one for sure because that's what they do. And now it is Disney.
yeah.
So yeah. Some
Yeah.
red flags for sure, but
Mm.
I mean just happy to see Deadpool again. And I just wanted to say the Chang and Abomination fight, like in the ring. I just love that little segment, even if it's a big CG character.
Wasn't his name Quan?
Not Quan.
Quan?
No.
No.
Wong.
Wong.
Oh
There you go,
yeah.
Wong,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
So-
racist motherfucker.
yeah. We were Wong.
I was like,
We were so Wong.
no, that is racist. But yeah, Emil, and yeah, it was so good.
Yes. And he's like, don't punch yourself or whatever he said.
Mhm.
It's just perfect.
It has weight as well.
Yeah. Because you're like, how is he gonna fight this
Yeah.
fucking monster in a cage? And then it's just like
Yeah.
out.
So good.
And then they're buddies.
And they're buddies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. Like,
No, it's
such a
really
small
good.
little thing.
It's really good.
but
And
Yeah.
that's what I loved about the ending as well.
and that I actually loved that fight with him and his sister as well. We didn't even talk about
dude,
his sister.
Dude, his sister was so good.
Yes.
But
So
that's what I
good.
mean. You know what I mean? Like the women in this movie know how to fight.
Yes.
And they've cut that fight smart
Mm.
because she's not powerful in that sense. But
No.
they have, like, you notice, like, when she kicks him, it becomes a CGI kick but it moves so fast
Yeah.
that you just have, like, a split second to kind of notice.
Mm.
And most people won't notice because it, like, oh, shit, what the, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I'll see it because martial arts is what I
Yeah.
like.
We've
and-
trained our eyes.
Yeah,
to,
so
to see
I
stuff
see it like
that.
I was like boom, like CGI, like
Yeah.
it turns CGI, like boom, split second, but it's good enough, and they do moves that are real, that look real, and it's a cut
and
between
still difficult moves as well.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just difficult enough to make it believable.
and
you know.
yeah,
And-
impressive.
and- yeah,
it's
exactly.
good.
Yeah. Impressive is actually what I meant.
But it
Yeah.
was really good. And then that she knocks him out, like that is also so
Yeah,
good.
it's
It's just
perfect.
like, yeah, she's thinking, just turns around, just like,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was
Yeah.
really good. But then the fight that comes after, though, when he's fighting that ninja that beat him as a kid,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's so good. And I expect them to like ruin it,
Yeah.
and they don't.
No.
And it just becomes better.
Yes, and you
And
feel
then,
it.
oh, do you know how much I hated that they got interrupted?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted that fight just a little longer. But that's the thing. They fight long enough
Yeah.
for it to be interesting and intense.
And keep you wanting more.
And keep you wanting
yeah,
more, yeah.
Exactly. It's smart. It's smart.
It's really smart.
But that's
But the bus fight was fucking awesome.
yeah,
Like,
and
it
that's
was-
on YouTube. The whole bus fight is on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's like they released it as an official clip, so you can watch it.
So-
If you just want like a little bit of a taste, if you're not sold on
Yeah,
our
yeah,
ramblings,
if martial arts is what you're looking for, look at that scene.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
It-
it's well made.
and it really is like it feels like a great evolution of the Marvel cinematic universe, and I just hope that we can keep it going, and that they tone down the fucking CG thing.
Dude, yeah, like I'm not impressed.
No.
Like, and it feels like they're going crazier all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course, they
the
want to
big-
push the bar.
but
I
we
understand
don't-
that,
we're
but
not
we don't have
there.
to.
Yeah, we don't.
We
like,
don't have to do that with
Like,
every
nobody
fucking thing.
wants that. Like, That's
No.
the thing. Like, if it sucks, it sucks. Just leave it out. Like, tell something else. Tell it differently.
But that's
Cover
why I
it up.
want you to take Dean, because it feels like
Yeah.
that's the Dean part of the movie.
Oh, dude, it's so kids friendly
know?
that it's like,
Yeah.
that's what kids like. As
Like,
a kid,
ooh,
I would
colours
have
and
loved that, yeah, and
animals.
monsters
Yeah.
and shit, yeah. But as a grown up, you're like, no, enough of this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Again, that's where I went to the bathroom.
I
I'm like-
don't like the
Yeah.
thing is, the movie was so good. Like, remove all the CGI, and up to that point, like before they get to the valley there, like the Taolu
Yeah.
or whatever it's called, like
How low?
Taolo. No, it's Chinese.
How low can you go?
The worst, but very funny. Nice.
So tired. Yeah.
Toolies Robert. But it's, it is actually like you could remove all the CGI and you would have had an epic movie.
Just bring out zombies instead of those.
Like there is such a fine line where the CGI works, like the water when they open when they put the necklaces in.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And then
Perfect.
they fuck it up with that big, like when the water at the end, like.
Yeah, but
with
that's
the-
where they spent all their money, like that little, the water and the gallery.
But that
thing.
one I understood, but the other one, ugh.
Yeah.
So much water that, like, how do you even make that believable? You know what I mean? Like, how many people have been inside a fucking tsunami?
No.
Like, no. And how do you make a tsunami look good, you know, like up
Yeah.
close? Because you see it up close.
Well, you don't.
Like, the way that we're sitting now is the distance from you as the audience and the actual CGI that you're seeing. And it looks so bad. Like, it looks bad.
Yeah.
You know, when CGI doesn't match the rest of the product, like the quality of the movie, that's where we ended up at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes beyond anything you could ever expect to happen. You're like,
yeah.
what the fuck am I watching? Like, at this point, like, why am I, like, I was so close to, like, maybe I should just leave here, but I wanted the end credits.
What did you think of the end credits?
What was the first one?
First
Which
one was
the first
the
one?
sister.
The sister. Oh shit! Yeah. Expected. So
Yes.
expect. I
Same.
was like,
I'm
Dude.
like, I called it from like almost day one.
Dude.
Day one.
as soon
Scene
as
one.
Yeah, because I thought when he was gonna look her up, I expected her to,
Like-
since she was practicing, I was like, she has her own shit,
Yeah.
and she did.
Yeah.
And as soon as that was sort of confirmed, I was like, she turns bad at the end somehow. Like, she will. And then the last one was my favorite though.
With Banner and
Yeah, just before
Captain
that,
Marvel.
just before they get to that, like, I really like how they get.
Oh yeah,
there.
from the
Yeah,
diner
because
or
they
the
have
restaurant.
that like repeat scene again where they're like just talking about crazy shit,
and
and
they're
the
like,
other like, what?
yeah, they're
the
friends.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just
yeah.
sitting there like, what the.
And they're
you
not
guys are-
sugarcoating anything. And then the dragons, blah, 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 just like, what the fuck are these? Like, were you high? Like, is that a bad dream? Like, and then the portal opens up.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, fucking yes.
Yeah. And that they bring them into the
Yes.
Avengers. Like, that's also.
What was the final part there as well?
So
The
then
fuck
you
did
have
we-
them getting briefed by
on the thing,
Captain
on the
Marvel and
rings.
Bruce Banners. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
true. The rings, yeah.
So like, yeah, but they're in. Like they are there.
Yeah, your lives are going to change drastically, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
And actually, like in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
Shang-Chi teaches Spider-Man how to fight.
That is fucking epic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Think about
please. Yes, please.
Mhm.
Give me that movie.
that. So yeah, that's
Spider-Man is such a great movie. Like, how do they pull off the CGI there so that you don't hate it?
yeah.
Because how
That
the
is
fuck do you
that
make
is the question.
Did you
I
see
guess.
how they made the old Garfield Spider-Man stuff?
I guess I don't remember much.
Where they have this they have a lot of sets in that movie,
Mhm.
and a lot of these sets are on cranes so they can rotate them.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so when he just he stands somewhere and then he jumps on the wall, then they they flip the house, the room,
Oh
in
shit!
one of these cranes, so he stands he's standing normally, but
But
it
the
looks like he's
room is-
standing on the wall. Yeah, because the
Fuck.
room's
I don't remember
so
seeing that.
so you think
That's
he's
awesome.
jumping, but he's just not jumping. He's just landing. You know, well,
Oh,
he's
that's great.
like they're flipping the house, so it looks like he's
Holy
doing
shit!
the thing, and it's
God.
so good.
That is so advanced.
Yes, it is, but it works.
Yeah, of course.
And one of my favorite fucking scenes from that movie, like, I think that is one of my top Spider-Man moments, is when he's fighting the lizard with Stan Lee. You know,
Oh, yeah, in the
doing
school.
the books. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you see that table.
Yeah.
It's still
And he's
fucking
got no clue.
great.
He's just
yeah,
standing
yeah,
there.
yeah. He's just listening to his classical music. It's so good. One of the best Stan Lee moments
Yeah.
there, where he just.
Apart from the Deadpool stripper club scene. Yeah.
Which one was that?
He's the DJ at the strip club.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Give it up for chastity or whatever.
Oh, yeah. In the second one, yeah, he's only painted on the big house there. It's a miss moment. You see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's on one of the side of the building there.
Yeah. Sad. But at least he got to be in the first one.
Nah, dude, yes, epic.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of wraps it up. But definitely see the movie. Like, it is
Yeah.
more good than anything else.
For once, a good Marvel movie at the cinema. Like, we waited a few years for this now.
Yeah. But
It's back. Cinema
it's
is
been,
back.
it's been a rough couple of years.
Yes. But I mean, this one is worth going to the cinema.
It is worth going.
It's
to
worth getting COVID. That's to say.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
There you go. Put it on the cup. All right. So we're just gonna leave it.
Can
at
never
that.
get too low, like Robert said.
Too low.
Too low.
Yeah. Say something
Yes.
funny, Ilias.
Quitos.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and go music.
Spepsiu, moje kurwa.
Oh
We'll
my
see
God.
you in the future.